Late than never, and we are here. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Full Velocity TV here tonight once again at the Talladega Superspeedway. It is race number 5 for the FTF 2018 Verizon Cup Series playoffs, and right here for the second race of the round of 12. You are locked and loaded right here live on Full Velocity TV. Good evening, everybody out there. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch TV. Phil Lacasse here along with Mr. Too Tall Todd Stanton, as always, for the controls here on FVTV. And Todd, a banner night for us here. Knockout qualifying for the guys at FTF tonight. Almost unprecedented in today's NR 2003 world, but hats off to these guys. An awesome crowd of race cars, and it's Talladega, baby, with a full field. This is going to be an awesome night.
Definitely going to be a fantastic night here, full field, and this is where danger is going to lurk around every corner there, Phil, as cars are going to get torn up here at Talladega. That's a hindsight of what's going to happen here this evening. Can't wait to see what's going to happen. Who's going to bring home that W here tonight and lock themselves into the next round?
Who is going to make that W? Who is going to punch their ticket on to the next round here in a couple of weeks? That is race number 2 of the round of 12. 12 drivers still out there racing for a championship. You got guys like, our point leader, Mr. Taylor Morgan's defending series champion. He's got a good 51-point buffer on second place. Kevin McAdams. Corey Carpenter sits third. Brian Mercurio fourth. Brandon Lawson sits fifth. Sixth on back is where it kind of gets a tad bit murky there, Todd, is you get Cosman currently 6th on the standings, 11 points to the good. 9 points to the good is Tyler Head, currently 7th. Kyle Riley, 8 points right now to the good, currently 8th on the standings. Justin Malello, he's currently sitting in the 9th spot, 6 points to the good. Jordan Buster is 10th. He's now right there, off of that, he's off the cut line, off by 10 points. Ryan Araki there, he is 12 points behind, I believe, and 20 points back we find Chris Wetz. So for those guys like Wetz, like Naraki, even for Jordan Buster, Justin Malello, it may be a win to get in scenario here tonight. They're going to be looking to have solid runs, because if not, it could really procure their chances to advance when we get next week to Kansas, where anything's going to be on from there.
Yeah, definitely anything's going to be on from there, and it could shake it up here. And a lot of these guys, as you're looking here at the playoff standings live on your screen, just looking at how far they're out, as of right now. And Chris Wetz and Justin Malello, and you got the bottom 4 right there. They're sitting on the bubble, but like you said, a full car field here, a full field of cars, I should say, that these guys should be able to make up some ground if they have some bad headaches here for that top 8, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely right. You got to have a good finish here at Talladega tonight to get here at the next round. But also here, Todd, something they do at FTF they've done for a long time. Also, is a really good battle that goes on in the owner standings. I know you have that graphic available to us as well. So take us through the owner points, what these guys sit at for so far, as we're now on race number 31 rather, of a 2018 Verizon Cup Series, season.
Yeah, Phil, the graphics is out live on our screen here. The UFI owner's title here and the standings as of right now. Huge Ram Cent Mile High Racing has got 4,663 points, with Huge Ram Cent Mile High Racing for that number 9. That would be Brandon Lawson, 21 points back of the number 36 of Taylor Morgan's. Then you also got True North Motorsports in that 01 machine. He is 34 points to the good. So these are what the numbers are actually accumulating right now, Phil. The 30 Corey Carpenter's 4th, but it actually Huge Ram Cent Mile High Racing is also another portion of that event. So as you look up and down the owner's points, the team points that are going on, you got Huge Ram Cent Mile High, and then Speed Inc. over there on the right-hand side. So you got team points, you got owner's points, you got all kinds of cool things that go on, a lot of different things here for FTF. A lot of titles to be yet to be decided towards this end of the season.
Yeah, that UFI owner point standings here is always something that's very coveted. Of course, the Drivers' Championship here for 2018, season for these guys. So a lot still to play off here in these next couple of weeks. So we're going to have it all live, flag to flag, right here on Full Velocity TV. Official qualifying, Todd, for this event just wrapping up. You can believe it. We had knockout qualifying to set this field here tonight, and it's looking like officially we can say Blake McCandless is going to take the pole. with a 51.621. Tyler Head's number 64 car going to look like park up alongside 51.641. Joe Allen going to clock in third quick. Joe making a rare appearance, 51.659. Corey Carpenter clocking in fourth quick with a 51.673 and 51.678 back to Justin Malello in the fifth spot. So you look all the way up and down this field, the pole was 621. You want to get down 2/10 to an 821. You got to go all the way down to 22nd place. Kevin McAdams, it's, less than 2.5 tenths from first all the way down to the 27 drivers who took time for the 30, I think 39-40 car field we have here this evening.
Yeah, definitely a huge field here. And just watching these guys line up on pit road, I have one of our pit road cameras here as they exit pit road, and just watching these guys. They want that drafting practice and the package that's going on out here on the speedway here. Just watching these guys draft together, and they want to gaggle themselves together and see who they're going to work with best. There's a lot of teammates out there. You can see owners' points and you can see team points that we just recently shared here in the points graphics, Phil. You got a partner out there, but when it comes down to the end, there's no teammates. It's all about that W.
It is all about that W out there tonight for these guys, and it's just going to be an awesome night here. Talladega Superspeedway going to take us around the Naur Experiment 500K out here tonight at the Talladega Superspeedway. Really cool to have Zach Rodgers out aboard here tonight sponsoring this race. Hopefully we can get Zach up here in the booth at some point. I know we've been conversing with him all week long. He'd like to come in and share, what the Naur Experiment is, and it's a really cool project he has put together, and kind of a sci-fi fantasy racing kind of book series he is starting on. So very tight-lipped about the project, Todd, but I know we've talked to Zach here before about this Naur Experiment, and it's going to be really cool when this thing comes to light. We can't wait to see what the first chapter of this is going to kind of look like. But what Zach is doing with the Naur Experiment, really cool and really awesome to have them as part of our series, our race sponsorship here tonight.
Yeah, definitely, Phil. We can't thank the Naur Experiment 500K, the Naur Experiment, I should say, enough here this evening for putting on the sponsorship here for Talladega. And like I said, it's a great race to put on the sponsorship for. And I can't wait to hear what Zach has to say about it, because I don't know a lot about it, Phil. And hopefully maybe we can definitely get him up here for an interview. A lot of these sponsors we'd like to get up here for an interview and just talk about what their sponsorship means and everything that goes around about it.
Absolutely. So Zach's out there within the sound of my voice. Zach, fire yourself on a team speak here when we get to see you here. We'll pull you into the conversation, and we'll talk all about this cool little project you got going on out there. He said you didn't want to tell me too much about it. I'm sure he doesn't even want to talk too much about it himself, not give away too many details. But, yeah, we'll definitely, have to wait and see and talk to Zach here. Maybe if not even, on our pre-race show, maybe even during the race, Zach can pop in and we can talk about this and let the picture kind of tell the story here at the Talladega Superspeedway. But great field of race cars on hand here tonight, Todd. I believe we're going to start 41 drivers here, almost unprecedented today in NR 2003's landscape. And I believe these almost had 50 drivers who came and took time to even try to make this show here tonight. That is an incredible feat, considering this game is not too far shy of becoming a 16-year-old sim. It's awesome to see the following this game still has, and all the drivers who come out really make this thing go round. All right, so Todd's getting ready, put a couple of things down there. So we'll talk all about what's going on here at FTF here tonight and all the great stuff that's going to be happening around this event. But before we do just that, what do you say we throw this thing trackside for the playing of tonight's national anthem? All right, the national anthem getting us started here tonight, live on Full Velocity TV. The Naur experiment, 500K going to make up here tonight. 312 miles is going to make up 117 laps, 3 stages of racing. So without further ado, let's say we dive into tonight's starting lineup. On the pole, the lap of 51.621 will be car number 166 of Blake McCandless. Alongside of him in car 64, that is championship contender Tyler Head on the outside of the front row. Row number 2 on the inside, the 028 tonight, piloted by the Jet Joe Allen. Alongside of him aboard car number 30, that is Corey Carpenter. Third row on the inside, championship contender on the inside, aboard car number 53, the FTF owner, that is Justin Malello. And alongside of him tonight in car number 23, that is Jonathan Taylor. He'll roll off on the outside of row number 3. Fourth row will be the number 41 car. Had a couple of great runs the last couple of weeks. That is Michael Frisch. And alongside of him out there tonight in the 088, terrific qualifying run here. Rare appearance at FTF for Jeffrey Goodpaster. He rolls off P8. Fifth row on the inside, the 55 car on the inside. That's Mike Fallon. Alongside of him in the 01, Jake Pullman rolls off from position number 10. Jordan Buster's going to start 11th tonight in car number 8. Alongside of him, another championship contender. That is Chris Wetz aboard car number 71. Next row back, the number 1 car. That is Dylan Smith. And alongside of him, good qualifying run tonight from 14th will come the 44 car of Brian Mercurio. 15th starter, the 00, that is Phil Parker. Alongside of him, rolling off 16th in the 36, defending series champion and point leader Taylor Morgans rolls off on the outside of row number 8. A rare appearance for the champ, David Schildhaus. He has a 62 machine out there tonight. He'll roll off 17th, and alongside of him in the 24, that is championship contender, that is Cosman. 10th row, Brandon Hawkins, number 75. Keith Sherman's number 25. Let's go trackside.
Drivers, start your engines!
Correction here, Keith Sherman aboard car number 33, rolling on to the order. 21st starter tonight will be car number 9, championship contender. That is Brandon Lawson, and parked next door to him. Currently second in the standings aboard car number 26. That'll be Kevin McAdams. Doug Lockrow qualifies tonight, 23rd aboard car number 85, and parked next door to him in the double knot 5. That is David Day. He will roll off in from 24th. 25th starter, championship contender on the inside, the 37 of Ryan Naraki, and parked next door to him. In car number 11, that is Sonny Tallman. 27th starter, that'll be Arnold Columbia aboard car number 39. And starting on the outside of the 14th row, Kyle Riley is going to bring the 43 out tonight from position number 28. 29th on the field, we'll find deep in the field. That's the 34 of Isaac Gann. Alongside of him, the number 19, Zach Buchanan. He will roll off from 30th. The 084 are going to start off next, and I don't have a clue. He's got Snake Eyes there for the name off to go off and research that, who the 084 may be. But Nick Gunther, he will roll off from a 32nd position aboard car number 10. Mikey Marota is going to roll off the 65 car tonight from 33rd. The 47 is going to be piloted by Zachary Stoltz. Starting 35th on the grid in car number 97, the Naur experiment. Sponsored machine, that is Jessica Shelton, and alongside of him tonight in Nick Baker's number 79, that's going to be Steve Rada. Next starter back on the 76 car of Noah Carmichael, rolling off deep in the field here tonight. The number 25 car is Randall Coleman. 39th starter here this evening, the number 48 is Joseph Weaver. Alongside of him, the 67 car is Andrew Swartz, and shotgun on the field. 41st starter, last driver making the field, is car number 2. That is Chris Emery. So 41 drivers here. We had more than 45 trying to qualify for this great event here tonight, Todd. 117 laps going to make up the Naur experiment 500K at the Talladega Super Speedway. We're about to put this thing under the green flag here. 41 drivers strong. I'm going to take a sip because this is going to be a great race here. 117 circuits around Talladega. Strap in. It's time to get going.
Yeah, pace car makes that hard left-hand turn down to pit road, getting ready to go green flag, racing with McCandless and Tyler Head, your front row, down through Talladega, just waiting on this green flag here and waiting to send these guys on their way for 117 laps. They're inside the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. A lap and a half to get up to full song. Let's see what kind of racing we have here tonight. These guys are going to send it down into turn number 1. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit slower. We're already 3 wide.
3 wide for Ernie. Looks like third position on back there is Blake McCandless going to try to spread out to the lead as I'm just getting settled in here, Todd, with the camera views. Blake McCandless going to be pushed out to the lead by Joe Allen, the 028, a pair of nice-looking race cars there. Tyler Head, the first car on the outside. Third car to the inside, that Fritos machine. Great look there tonight for Justin Malello. He's going to bring that 53 car to the inside. That's battling for the third spot as they exit turn 4.
Yeah, Justin Malello, one of those types of guys, though, that wants to be able to win and get in and click his ticket to the next round there, Phil. And Justin Malello right now, one of the guys in the bottom 4, running in that third spot right behind a pair of teammates there, the 166 and the 028 of Joe Allen. That's McCandless and Allen right now leading the charge here down into turn number 1. The 53 of Justin Malello running in third.
Couple of drivers have already kind of made their way forward. The one car of Dylan Smith is up in the top 5. Phil Parker started deep in the field outside the top 10. He's already got a 00 up into the top 10, currently running in the 6th spot. Corey Carpenter has dropped. I'm seeing guys like Taylor Morgan already making some moves. He's already breaking into the top 10. So great racing going on all over the Talladega Superspeedway. Up front, the top 4 cars, single file. Blake McCandless flanked by Joe Allen. Justin Malello, Dylan Smith, that's your current fast 4. They're side by side for 5th on back off turn 4.
Currently following Justin Malello live on the screen, just running in that third spot right there behind the duo up front there. So watching Justin Malello here live on the screen, and he's going to work as these guys have fanned out to only 2 wide now. It was 3 wide here initially on the start there, Phil. So they thought better of that. They got back into line. Right now the bottom groove seems to be working, but I'm going to tell you that top groove is where you're going to see the winning pass here tonight, I do believe.
Yeah, and it's CTS Physics out here with the Cup cars tonight as well. So, yeah, I think that pass is going to be really good up high. I think early in the going here, it's a long race. Stage lengths tonight, 30 laps. And I believe, if I do the math right, I believe that comes out to 57 laps to make up the end of the main event. So stage racing here tonight for these precious playoff points is, this is the second race of the round of 12. So we have elimination coming up next week at the Kansas Speedway here, live on Full Velocity TV. But who is going to survive here at Talladega? This is a night that can really make or break your championship hopes. Right now for guys like Justin Malello, who basically would feel really good with a win or a really good solid top 5 finish. Currently running 3rd. Tyler Head doing just that 5th. Corey Carpenter currently running in the 6th spot. Jordan Buster, one of those guys badly needing a good run, currently 8th. And Taylor Morgan's our point leader. Those are some of the guys in the championship, Todd, who have currently cracked in the top 10. We'll update all 12 of those as the night goes on. But a lot of cool things to get to, a lot to talk about. But so far through the opening laps, Polster to Blake McCandless, teammate Joe Allen, they are flanked to that bottom side. But here comes that top shelf. The train rolling there with Tyler Head to the top side. Corey Carpenter pushing. Blake and roll up the hill. That's how we're going to split them 3 wide for the race lead toward turn 1.
Yeah, he's going to fall into that, what we call the sucker hole there for the 166. Starts fanning back through the field. No help there from anybody right now in sight. The number 33 starting to move up through the field and trying to actually get right there with Blake. That's going to be Keith Sherman in that number 33 machine, normally piloted by Adam Kodal in the number 33 machine. But finally, McCandless looks like he's going to be able to get back down to the bottom there. I do believe, he's able to fall back into line. But now Joe Allen in that 028 leads Justin Malello right now. And there's a car going back and forth throughout the field there, Phil. I got a little bit nervous. I thought there was going to be a big one coming off of turn number 4. These guys are all straight and right in the right direction, coming down through the tribal, or well, I shouldn't say the tribal, the front straightaway here at Talladega. It's still Joe Allen in that 028. It's a 64. Tyler Head starts to pull alongside of the 028 going into 1.
Yeah, they're going to be side by side. That's going to be the battle for the race lead off the exit of turn 2. These drivers all stuck 2 wide from first place all the way back to the 40th position. We find Joseph Weaver's 48 car. He was the one that was kind of bouncing around in line. He's going to go to the rear of the field, hopefully get that connection all kind of sorted out for him. But look at that top shelf, Todd, as they hit turn number 3. Tyler Head's going to sprinkle his way into the race lead for the first time. But as we always see when they get middle corner, the inside lane gets that good head of steam. It's not till the exit of the corner you see the top line start to dominate himself. And then you see Tyler Head breaks free. Corey Carpenter going to break free. And also the 8 car of Jordan Buster, the 3rd car up high. Those 3 drivers now going to try to claim their stake in the top 3 as hit the start-finish line and head toward turn 1. 7 laps up to the board.
Just taking a look at Joe Allen's car here on the bottom side here, the Toyota Camry, that number 028 machine there, Phil, just trying to look around the different camera angles that we had here as they're stacking it up on the bottom there. Kind of an accordion effect that's going on down there, and that's allowing this top groove to actually work their way up. You see teammate number 5, the 005 of David Day, the Mr. Excitement. He's been working the top shelf. He's moved himself up into that 5th spot with help of the number 34 of Isaac Gann as of right now. But just looking at the different camera angles that we have going on throughout Talladega, and just, oh man, just looking out the rear bumper there's a rear view mirror full. I believe that's number 53 machine there. Just pushing them right along there. That's Justin Malello. So, oh man, look at the different camera angles. And we are 3 wide through the corner, and only a FTF is so far we're being able to keep it clean and green. As the lap 8 has been completed here, Phil. We're down the back straightaway. Now 2 teammates back together in that middle groove.
Yes, they are. That's Mr. Excitement. David Davis on the back of the field. Now contact. Taylor Morgan's car up into the wall. I'm not sure that may collect a couple of more cars behind, but that was some good hands driving if that didn't collect any more. But Taylor Morgan's car got up in the outside wall. Point leader was running all the way up into the top 10, got shuffled out of line. There was contact made, I believe, between him and the 05 of David Day. So I'm not sure how good of a look you got at that there, Todd, but looks like still green flag racing. But tough luck for Taylor Morgan's race car. Looks all right, but definitely lost momentum and certainly going to lose track position.
Yeah, Taylor Morgan's right now was running really well there, and this is probably not one of his favorite places, as he's a pretty good driver as far as short tracks, intermediate tracks. He's an all-around good driver. Is Taylor Morgan's, and that's why he was champion last year. Right now fighting for the championship once again this season. But if you're a points leader, this is not something you want to see coming into these events here. You just want to salvage something good. And right now he had to fall back to about middle of the pack there. And Taylor Morgan's made just a slight contact there, and that was just enough to send him up and out of the groove.
Yeah, and it's just unbelievable how this gabble up, a bunch of cars up there, but 10 laps going on the board. New leaders emerged, a 53 car of Justin Malello. Look at that awesome paint scheme he's got out there tonight. Frito's all over that car. That makes me really want to snack right now and not talk about the race. Speed Inc. teammates Kevin McAdams, Ryan Araki, those guys masters at drafting on these super speedways. And look at that there, Todd. All 3 of those cars, Speed Inc. running 1, 2, 3 is at the field, hits turn number 3.
Yeah, right now following Kevin McAdams there in the 26 machine. He is right now currently in the playoff hunt here, Phil, and just watching him go to work here with the 53 of Justin Malello, trying to push him. I do believe you're going to see him try to push the 53 of Justin Malello to a win here and try to get himself into the next round for the 53 machine, as Kevin McAdams right now has quite a good lead in that 26 machine. So we're going to see what's going to happen. I know it's kind of early to make predictions there, Phil, but look at all those Frito cars out front. 1, 2, 3, and even 4, I do believe. You see Cosman, number 24, he is running in that 4 spot, and he's got Fritos on his car too.
Oh, he certainly does. That's all Speed Inc. cars running there at the 53, 26, 37, and 24. They find themselves up in the top 4 as well. So you look at that. You find teammates out here at Talladega. You could do that. You stick with them, and you often find yourself to the front. So here at the Talladega Super Speedway here tonight, the Naur Experiment 500K here at Talladega, live on Full Velocity TV. And we did tease this during the pre-race show, and we were hoping to get Zach Rogers up on the horn here. And we'll see if we can't talk to the race sponsor tonight, Mr. Rogers. I believe you're going to be joining us up here in the booth. Zach, you got a copy?
I got you, Phil.
Zach, really good to talk to you again there, bud. But the Naur Experiment, tell us about this, project. I know you told me a little bit, a sci-fi, sim racing kind of deal, a book series you're going to get started. Not without giving all the details away and keeping stuff hidden. Tell us all about Naur and what this is all about.
Well, the Naur Experiment was a project I started under a different name back in 2014 when I was still in high school, and it's evolved over the years, over rewrites and different processes of it. And it's basically, like you said, it's a sci-fi fantasy thing. And there's racing in it with real cars. It's not really motorsports like, but there's like different worlds and stuff, aliens, robot stuff that'll be down the line. But it's been a hobby. I haven't been doing it for a career out of it. I've just been writing it for fun.
Yeah, it's a hobby. It's a good time. It sounds great. It's a work in progress. Tell us where you sit now currently in the project. Are you close to getting anything released or finalized, or how far to the process as far as your first entry? How do you sit right now on it?
Well, Death Craver, which is on the 97 car here today, Death Craver, I am in the middle of my editing process. I redid the whole thing all of last year from July to this year in March. And since May, I've been slowly but surely going through it, making sure everything's right for the story, proofreading it myself, and I should hopefully have that done by maybe the end of this month or the end of the year, and then move forward with either getting self-published or finding a literary agent and going forward that way.
Now, this is a labor of love for you, Zach, and the project sounds really cool. This is the first time we actually talked to you out loud about it on the airwaves about it, but you say Death Craver, which is a sponsor tonight on that number 97 that I know Todd's going to put up on screen, show off this awesome little paint scheme for us. But you say, you're about completed, out into the editorial process of it, but well, let's back off on that for a minute, Todd. We have caution Flagler Speedway. Big wreck off, it looks like. Turn number 2 down the back straightaway. This one may have tore up a bunch of race cars, so we'll leave Zach there a minute. But we'll bring Zach into the conversation. Zach, you're a sim racer. You've done this a long time. Racing here at Talladega, 40 cars out there, something we have all done a million times. Just how white knuckle is this out there for guys tonight, especially those out there trying to race for the life and race on to the next round of 8 for a championship. Talladega is a race that can really make or break your season, really make or break your run for a championship.
Oh yeah, I mean definitely. This is the second round. It's the second race of their round of 12, and that looked like that took out a lot of people. There was really nowhere to go there, right off the corner. I mean, it's Talladega. There's really no other way to explain it. It's usually always entertaining. It's exciting. It's tense when you're out there on the track, and it's fun. But if you get in the wreck, it's really not fun after that.
Well, Zach, as always, buddy, it is really good to talk to you. Thanks for having an art experiment aboard, and come back every once in a while. Keep us up to date on where you are with it, because it's a really cool experiment. I can't wait to read about it. Can't wait to see what you got going on. So thanks again for a couple of words there, bud. We're going to let Todd throw this thing. Todd, what do you got there for a Full Velocity TV replay?
Well, Phil, we're going to take a look, and Philip Parker is not nicknamed Blinky for nothing, and this is what happened to Mr. Parker, and I believe it collected the 005 here of David Day, and big carnage ensued. He blinked out and just kind of landed on David Day. Around he goes, collecting Cosman. Oh, man, a lot of championship contenders through there. David Day doing a spin cycle. Cosman was collected. There was a few of these others that were collected here, Phil, but just take a look as we go back down through here. Just the chaos that ensues after he blinks out. The 5 is around, the 028's around, the 36 was involved. You got the 9 of Brandon Lawson involved, the number 8 of Jordan Buster, who was already in the bottom 4. So Jordan Buster went for a ride in that number 8 machine. You're just looking at all the contact, and there's a huge parking lot at Talladega, and it's not one of those ones you would like here. There's a lot of damaged cars here. Isaac Gann also involved in the number 34, making an appearance. He may not be in the championship hunt, but out there for that old-fashioned W. The 30 just barely making it through, and it looked like the top 5 cars that were running at the time, Phil. They made it through, but everybody else making contact here. So we're going to have some damaged cars out there. We're going to see who is actually more damaged than they should be, but unfortunately taking out some championship contenders in that one.
Oh, it definitely did. You see the 33 Adam Cardall, Isaac Gaines in there. But, yeah, you see Corey Carpenter's championship contending car just sneaking on by a couple of different cars there. Phil Parker took a really wild ride on the 00, but we said we do call him Blinky in this community, and you see it right there as you see savage hits for a bunch of those race cars out there. A really, really tough break, but looking like, Todd, a lot of the leaders have come onto pit road to take service. Now it's just kind of up to timing and scoring to get themselves all kind of sorted out. So this thing should go back to green flag racing here momentarily as they get the field sorted out, the field getting itself gathered back up. It looks like now off the exit of turn number 4, so hopefully this time we'll get 1 to go on the field the next time around. 16 laps in. We'll have 100 laps to go of racing here this evening, halfway through stage 1. Looks like about a lap away. We'll get back to green flag racing.
Yeah, definitely about a lap away right now. The 01 of Jake Poulin, he's your current race leader. Kevin McAdams is running in that second spot. Third would be Justin Malolo. Ryan Naraki running fourth. Steve Rada up to fifth. Joseph Weaver in that number 48 machine. He's running sixth. Brian Mercurio in the number 44. He's seventh. Eighth is Corey Carpenter. Tyler Head is ninth, and Doug Lockrow rounds out your top 10 as they run right now. Going to see if Jake Poulin maybe comes down to pit road for service here, as it looks like he's trying to come down to pit road, and he's indeed going to do so, and some of these other guys are going to follow, Phil.
And I hear, Todd, there's a calamity up in turn number 3 under caution. It sounds like there might have been more cars wrecking up there, coming to what I think is one to go, or maybe coming to the restart, but looks like somebody was down to the grass. Not exactly sure where I caught it, trying to go down there and trying to get the right view, but I do see a couple of cars down to the grass. Whatever in the world happened here, not exactly sure, but yeah, definitely stuff happening there. Saw a tide ride down to the infield. I think it was a 55 of Mike Fallon that was down there. Not sure if you got a look at this, Todd, but we definitely had some issues under the caution flag here. Is this one? I'm not sure if this is going to come to the restart, or this may have been waved off at one to go. But what in the world happened here under caution at Talladega? It's been happening. It's been known to happen before. You drop it down to the first gear off the banking, and you can kind of lose one here under caution. Things could happen in a hurry. Looks like one driver got down to the grass and just kind of lost control, and it gathered up. It looks like maybe 3 or 4 cars behind. Not sure anybody collected damage, but what in the world happened here under yellow? Well, and that definitely sucks for them guys to, maybe get collected. Definitely probably, ruined up their tires a little bit, and kind of embarrassing. I am definitely, guilty of spinning under caution multiple times here in my lifetime, but you don't expect that here with a big crowd at FTF. These guys, really the best of the best that come out here to the Talladega Super Speedway, but yeah, not exactly sure what is going on. Not sure if they're not lined up here to go green flag racing, so it's going to be at least one to go from here. So we're here live on Full Velocity TV, guys. Glad you have all tuned in. Great crowd out there on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and also Twitch TV. If you guys have not followed us here on Twitch TV yet, it is twitch.tv/Full Velocity TV. We have some unique programming that is going to come out as a Twitch exclusive here in the next couple of months, so you guys will definitely want to be on the lookout for that. Of course, YouTube here, you got to subscribe to the Full Velocity TV YouTube page as stuff goes out there all the time. And also, Facebook Live. We'll archive all events there. We'll be live here with every broadcast for a duration here, hopefully for a long time with Full Velocity TV. So we would love to see your league out here, just like FTF's doing tonight. All these great leagues out there, NASCAR 2003 racing, iRacing, or whatever else you may have there out there watching. You would like to get live on Full Velocity TV? Well, you're going to find us on our Facebook page, Full Velocity TV, a page in a group. Or if you don't have Facebook, you can contact us by a good old-fashioned snail email by emailing us at fullvelocitytv@gmail.com, fullvelocitytv@gmail.com. Contact us now. Get your dates booked in now. Prices are very, very good, guys. Think you'll be very pleased at what we got offering for you here. It's a very good base event pricing, and I think you guys will love what's going to happen for you. Contact us now. Get your dates locked in, as we have stuff already booking out until the first of the year. So you guys got stuff thinking here around the holidays or whatever, you may want to contact us soon, because these dates are certainly starting to add up quick. But here tonight, the Naur Experiment 500K at the Talladega Super Speedway, an extended caution flag. The big one down the back straightaway gobbled up many, many contenders, and then a yak under the yellow flag here kind of prolonged this yellow flag. So this time around there, Todd, it sounds like the field is going to be doubled up, and it feels like finally we're going to go back to green flag racing.
Yeah, indeed, the field's going to restack, repack here, and they're coming out of turn number 4, so you got to wait till they get to that Monster Energy restart zone over there. It's not quite the it's a little bit further of a haul than you would think. It's going to be Justin Malello and Kevin McAdams. Right now, your front runners here. Blue 37 Ryan Naraki running in that third spot. Fourth would be Steve Rada as we get ready to come to the line. You're waiting just for this restart zone, and looks like these guys getting ready to put the hammer down and go back to green flag racing. Looks like we're almost well within that zone here as we're just starting to hit it here, Phil. So the restart zone is right there, and green flag is back in the air. We're back to racing here at Talladega. The Naur Experiment, 500K here at Talladega.
Yeah, this one's kind of changed up complexion of this race, changing up with the restart. Kevin McAdams, Justin Malello bring the field to green. Steve Rada, he's up there positioned in the third spot. Ryan Naraki fourth, and Brian Mercurio has bought his way into the top 5 here on the restart as the field works its way now off of turn number 2 down the back stretch for the first time. You see everybody getting sprinkled out single file down the back chute just as we saw the opening laps. Now one car going to come out of line. It's that bright yellow number 44 of Brian Mercurio. He's going to go to the top side of the racetrack, trying to make something happen alongside Ryan Naraki, racing for the 4th spot as they hit turn 4.
Yeah, indeed, Brian Mercurio in that number 44 machine trying to make something happen on the top shelf of the Speedway, and he is making it work here. He's got help from the 30 of Corey Carpenter, the 64 Tyler Head. Those guys up on the top shelf of the Speedway here. There's even a higher up group that's trying to work their way up here, but right now we're going to call them the top shelf. The 44 Brian Mercurio leading the charge with Corey Carpenter and Tyler Head, and Taylor Morgan's back up on top.
All those guys going to the top shelf of the Speedway, and you can't let those Speed Inc. guys dominate, Todd. They've done this at restricted plate tracks, dozens and dozens of times before. You've seen, not the 53. It's either been him, the 26, the 37, or even the 24. All those guys in their own right. And now you look there on the inside, the 4th car on the inside, that South Point Casino number 62, the champ David Schildhouse. He's a guy who knows how to win here at Talladega. We've seen him do it on our airways before. The champ finding his way now into the top 10 and that number 62. But look at this picture, Todd. 2, almost 3 wide for about 20 rows deep as the field heads to turn 3.
Man, you're watching these guys shift all the way from the top all the way to the bottom, coming down the front straightaway there, Phil. And it's just an awesome camera angle that we had coming down here into turn number 1. And they're shifting. And you're watching them fan out down the back straightaway, the super stretched, or the super speedway part of this event here. The back straightaway, Phil, I believe it's going to be the longest straightaway here for them here at Talladega. I'm not making sense of myself here, but it is the longest part of the track here, and those guys carry a lot of speed coming through the backstretch, and those guys fan out. There's a lot of room compared to other portions of the track. It seems like you're able to get away with a little bit more as you have a little bit of a kink here, but current race leader, the 44, Brian Mercurio, is right now working over his magic with the number 30 of Corey Carpenter, Tyler Head. It looks like the 36 of Taylor Morgan's is able to break out here in front of these guys, so if he really wanted to make a run, he can get in front of those Speed Inc. guys down on the bottom, but right now he's pretty comfortable where he's at, running the middle groove here.
No, he certainly is. He's going to stay locked in tow there with those guys running the middle groove of the racetrack, and you look and you see that Speed Inc. group, currently led by McAdams in the number 26 car. They're very content to run down there in the inside lane. Nothing happening there. You see guys like Dylan Smith in the 1 car starting to sprinkle on by, as is the 79 of Steve Rada running the outside lane. So the strength of numbers right now, Todd, is up on the top shelf of the Speedway, and I think that is going to be the dominant line we are going to see all night long. It's right now a freight train. 7, 8 cars deep are going to make way of that first car to the inside lane. Kevin McAdams there, he's battling. It looks like the 79 of Steve Rada's there. Also, looks like Steve Rada, the 1 car of Dylan Smith up ahead. Side-by-side racing now for it looks like the 6th spot now off of turn number 2.
Yeah, there's racing going on all over. Almost contact made to the wall there. He is able to pull it off the wall. Man, that was almost carnage on the back straightaway once again, Phil. These guys are pretty tight here through the middle portion of this pack here. And just watching these guys go fighting tooth and nail, going from top to middle to bottom. And they're just trying to work over everything that they can. Jonathan Taylor in that 23. Man, he's been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And, man, he scared me at times, but he's able to hold on to it. And we got a wreck behind him. It looks like Doug Lockroll involved. Another whole gaggle of cars here by the start-finish line. It's going to bring out another yellow, Phil.
Oh, this one looks like it's going to tear up multiple race cars as well. So Doug Lockroll pointed the wrong way. The 47 car piled in there as well. definitely has wrecked some really good race cars here. So caution flag for the second time here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. And I think this one, broke out right on the live screen there, Todd. And I think you'll be able to go back and see where the initial contact happened. But, saw the 47 car involved, saw Doug Lockrow's 85, saw a couple more cars kind of piled into the smoke, didn't quite get the vantage point, but not going to give away all the goodies as you're going to work on a full velocity TV replay. And then maybe under this caution flag, if this thing's kind of elongated, maybe we can get one of these drivers up here in the booth and see how things are here at the Talladega Super Speedway. The racing out there insane tonight, just as we figured it would be. But what do you got for us, Todd? Full velocity TV replay, caution flag number 2. This one not as big as the first one, but this one definitely tore up a couple more race cars.
Yeah, definitely not as big as the first one, but this one had some pretty high contact with it. It's the good old-fashioned bumper grab, and you're going to see it looks like 33 got in the backside of the 28 of Joe Allen, the 028 of Joe Allen. Unfortunately, the 33 machine kind of hooked him there, and 28 went up the track, and then 33 actually went up and pounded the 85 there. The 55 around the 5 of David Day involved once again. Another big wreck for the 005 machine. Mike Fallon involved. The 55 machine. So if you have a 5 tonight, you better watch out, Phil, as bad luck keeps striking the 5s here this evening.
It is definitely doing just that as we're under caution once again here for the second time at the Talladega Super Speedway. It is great to see all you guys that have tuned in here tonight. Facebook Live doing well. Twitch TV's got a couple out there, and YouTube is just absolutely hopping here tonight. See a lot of guys out there. I've seen Mark Zabeka's out there. I've seen Bulldog. I'm not sure who Bulldog is, but Matty Ace is out there. Great to see all you guys tuned in. Steve Conway is out there. Haven't seen Steve. Brendan Gent. Great to see Brendan out there this evening. And see, he sent us a PM there as well. So I have to, get a hold of Brendan, see what we can't talk to. But a lot of great stuff going on out there. YouTube chat is alive there, Todd. Caution flag for the second time. But we were going to talk to somebody under the yellow, but the word I'm getting from race control is we're taking a quickie yellow here, 1 to go at the line. So, we'll have to talk to somebody under green when one of these things cycle out. It was something that we started here at FTF last week, and we're going to do a little bit more here tonight. If this race is to kind of sort itself out, in-race reporters, they took a poll here at FTF, and we got a gaggle of guys who, made sure they want to come in and be a part of the work. So we'll do our best here tonight. Don't really want to take a lot of these guys out of the middle of the pack when they're 2 and 3 wide racing. Don't want to distract from what they're doing as they have their hands full out there. But we are certainly going to do the best we can to talk to as many as we can here tonight. But we're getting set to go on the backstretch. Whatever we can do up here. Brian Mercurio with the race lead off of pit road. Corey Carpenter, Tyler Head, Taylor Morgans, Dylan Smith, your current top 5. 6 to 10, we find Kevin McAdams, Justin Malello, Steve Rada, Ryan Naraki, Isaac Ginn, your current top 10 last time around. Chris Wetsma scored 11th. Joe Allen 12th. Brandon Lawson 13th. Jordan Buster 14th. Zachary Stultz to 47, currently running 15th. Phil Parker is 16th. Nick Gunther is 17th. Kyle Riley 18th. David Schildhouse 19th, and Joseph Weaver up into the top 20 in the 48 car. So that gives you about half the field. We had 41 drivers take the green flag. That is the top 20. We're preparing for a restart, Todd, as the field working its way now off through turn number 4, headed down toward the start-finish line. At the end of the tri-oval is where the start-finish line is. So winning that green flag, we're back to green flag racing here at Talladega.
Yeah, that Monster Energy ultraviolet restart zone there as we're watching them get through that restart zone as the green flag did come in the air. Brian Mercurio, again, your race leader. He drops there. He actually moves right up in front of the 30 of Corey Carpenter, trying to work with him immediately, but Corey Carpenter has second thoughts. He wants to get up to the lead in that number 30 machine here. The 44 of Mercurio right now leading the bottom charge. The 30 of Corey Carpenter leading the top charge. They got some good pushers out there, and Isaac Gann makes a 3 wide down the back straightaway.
Isaac Ed making something happen to that Alienware number 34. A guy who certainly, doesn't sit still for sure. He's going to try to make something happen, and he's going to do that on a top shelf. 3 wide there with Chris Wetz down low. Brandon Lawson up high, racing for about that 10th spot. This time around there, Todd, 27 laps going to go on the board. Keep in mind the first stage, 30 laps in distance. So it's about time to pay out those playoff points to stage points. Those are ever so crucial here when we get to this round of 12 with 1 more week to go at Kansas before we cut off to the round of 8 Every point is crucial. Every point is key. And I think you're going to see guys maybe take some unnecessary chances, try to get their way, stake their claim to one of those points in the top 10.
Yeah, definitely going to take some chances here just to get some of those extra points here as they come down the back straight away, Phil. Like you said, lap 27 up on the board right now of 117 laps. 30 laps will end the stage, so we're going to do our best to try to give you the top 10 when that stage does complete here on the screen. We got some new widgets that we had tried out here throughout the evening, and you guys have got a sneak peek at that top 10 widget that we do have going on here at Full Velocity TV. Always trying to come up with new ideas here for Full Velocity TV. If you do have ideas, come on and shoot them out. We'll try them out. Here is Kevin McAdams now makes a 3 wide, Phil, all the way through this pack. Fantastic racing, and this is the chances you were talking about coming off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Man, who's it going to take stage 1?
I don't know, but you look at that awesome picture down the backstretch headed toward turn 3. Who is it going to be here in this battle? 3 wide. Brian Mercurio is going to pace that inside lane out to a lead. Looks like that maybe is that Taylor Morgan's leading the front line out there. Isaac Ann tucked in there. Corey Carpenter has got the middle line. No, that's Taylor's 36 of the middle line. Third car, the inside sprinkling its way in. There's so many cars out there, Todd. I can't read half of the numbers on them, but look at the way these guys are racing. Tyler Head 64 there in the mix as well, but Mercurio going to lead this lap back to the line. I believe that's going to be stage 2 to go, so I believe this may be stage white next time around. And you see these guys, muscling their way into positions. Guys that are there in that championship hunt, all looking to gain those extra points. They got to take the chance to get in positions now. Down the backstretch, we are still 3 wide headed toward turn 3.
Yeah, still 3 wide, heading down towards turn number 3, just at the end of the back straightaway right now. Now we're into turn 3. Brian Mercurio still your race leader. Tyler Head running in that second spot. Those guys are championship contenders, highlighted by the red little banners, the Verizon banners that are on their cars. Then you have the number 1 of Dylan Smith. He is running in that third spot. Fourth is Justin Malello, trying to get all the championship points he can get in that 53 machine. And we got a wreck and carnage. Cars flipping upside down the front straightaway. And, oh, man, took out half the field once again, Phil. And, boy, what a parking lot on the front straightaway.
Yep, Todd, get busy down there because this one's got to be big. And I just hit the first glimpse at it myself. The big one ends stage number 1 here, the third caution flag of stage 1. This one's going to tear up. Oh, you said half the field. You may be accurate with that one here, as that's going to tear up a lot of cars mid-pack. I'm not sure what you guys all see in the live feed, but I'm going to let Todd go back and, show us on the replay. But as they hit the start-finish line, looks like Brian Mercurio is going to take down the win in stage 1. Tyler Head going to finish up second. Dylan Smith third. Justin Malello fourth. Chris Wett's going to finish up the first stage in the top 5. Steve Rada 6th. Zachary Stoltz 7th. Taylor Morgan's 8th. Brandon Lawson 9th. And Joseph Weaver, a great top 10 run here through the end of the first stage. But unfortunately, that stage white that was coming up that time, the caution flag put an end to it. And that gives Brian Mercurio the win here. Gathers him up some more playoff points. Currently third in the standings. Doing all the right things out here is at 44 here. You know who else is doing all the right things tonight? Well, Todd Stanton down there in the Full Velocity TV replay booth. And Todd, you got a big one to show this time. So without further ado, take it away. Show us the big one.
Yeah, and it's going to start with Corey Carpenter, Chris Wetz, and a 36 at Taylor Morgan's. And this is, it's just misjudgment, I do think, is what started this one. But we're looking at Chris Wetz. He comes up, and Corey Carpenter right there. This is what initial contact makes. He just has a spin cycle around, back up the track, into the 26 of McAdams. You're seeing, I believe that's Phil Parker doing a roof dance, and he lands back up on his wheels. But just look at this. We're going to go back. Some of these guys that did escape here, the 23 way down the track. Doug Lockrow involved. But look at the 00 machine here. That's rather interesting, just watching these guys is just smashing and grinding, and they're up in the air, tail flipping and tail slapping each other up there, Phil. And it's just total and utter carnage up for this yellow flag. And it's not what you want to see, but just it's a high-speed demolition derby at this point. When you get these cars going and they're pack racing, that's what happens when you're pack racing. The 30 hit the wall hard, and man, oh man, did he just come back across the track, and just a lot of cars involved and just heavy damage to tons of cars throughout the middle portion of this pack, Phil. I can't say anymore. I'm kind of speechless.
Just let the picture tell the story there, Todd, as I was just kind of taking a look at what you had for a camera view. And Yeah, the 00 was up on it, through flying through the air. Corey Carpenter did a complete pirouette sideways in air. Ryan Araki was tore up. Kevin McAdams tore up. I mean, just I don't know who's not tore up in that one. See cars savagely flying into the back of that wreck, and that is definitely collecting some really good race cars out there tonight. And that is a tough break for a lot of these guys as I look down toward pit road and see if any of these cars may pull into the garage area. The great news for these guys, we're simulating here tonight moderate damage. So it may save some of these guys. Look like this one may have gobbled up the legs of Jeff Goodpaster. Looks like the 088's night may be done. I see Jake Poulin's car has got some pretty heavy damage to it. Arnold Columbia's 39. Andrew Swartz, 67. Jordan Buster's number 8. He got a hit on that one as well. So a tough break for Jordan. One of those guys trying to race for a championship. So, yeah, a lot of cars tore up here. But looking down toward pit road, Todd, it's starting to look more like a junkyard. We call Talladega a high-speed chess match, but I think you hit it just right through these first 30 laps. Almost kind of a high-speed demolition derby with 40 personalities, 41 hungry drivers out there, nobody wanting to give an inch. It was only a matter of time before guys, take those unnecessary chances. And, one guy goes one way, the other guy goes the other way. They meet in the middle, and you see one of these. And these are really good race car drivers. Corey Carpenter, he's all tore up, but we'll have to see his We'll see if we can't talk to somebody under this caution flag as well, Todd. A lot going on down there as I'm just kind of floating up and down pit road, seeing what all these guys got going on.
Definitely a lot going on, Phil. Just trying to see what these guys got going on. And these guys out there running around slow here on pace laps. The yellow flag is indeed out for... Oh, man, it was just carnage there. We've had 3 pretty big wrecks here, and a lot of these cars taking their toll. And there's not many cars out there left with... no damage out there, I do believe. But right now, your current top 10, and this is just current, and this is unofficial right now because we do have probably some admins looking at the wreck that happened. But Jonathan Taylor would be your current race leader. Tyler Head is running second. Cosman running third there in that number 24 machine. Brian Mercurio fourth. Isaac Gann fifth. Joseph Weaver sixth. Seventh is Steve Rada. Chris Emery in that number 2 machine. He is running eighth. The champ, David Schildhouse from 2 years ago, is ninth there in that 62. And Brandon Hawken in the 75 rounds out your top 10 running order right now, Phil. So a lot of different names up top in the top 10 right now as that wreck takes out some pretty good guys.
And wreck really tore up a lot of good race cars. But another guy who's having a really good run out there tonight, we don't talk a lot to here on Full Velocity TV. Well, let's bring that beautifully prepared number 64 David Sunflower Seeds driver up here. That's Tyler Head aboard car number 64. Tyler, that was a big wreck there. We've had 3 really good wrecks. What has your view been like out the rearview mirror watching those guys all pirouetting up through the air and tearing up all their race cars?
Well, it's not a very good thing to be seeing in the mirror, but thankfully it has been in the mirror because trying to dodge that from the windshield is not easy to do, which obviously shows in the results of those wrecks. But just been fortunate that we've been able to stay in front of those things when they've been happening and stay clean here so far.
Well, Tyler, you've had a really, really good car all night long, currently running up there in the top 5, currently second. Tell us what that pack racing like has been out there. It looks absolutely insane up here in the booth. I know Todd's got a lot of great camera angles and, all the wireless going on, but what is it like down there from the cockpit view with a really good, fast race car? You got a good bullet underneath you here tonight.
Yeah, the car's going good, but what's most important is I've got a few folks that I've been able to work with pretty well so far here, and that's what it takes to develop some runs here. And the good thing with the racing package that we've got here is that you can develop runs and you can make something happen. So we've been able to work together. I've noticed that the Speed Inc. guys have been working together pretty well too. It's just going to be a matter of who's able to work together best for the end of this stage and then the end of the final.
Now, tell me what a night like this does for you as far as championship hopes go, because we always call Talladega that great equalizer. It's the wild card of what a playoff scenario would be. Being in the round of 12 now and having, like one more race, we get to Kansas next week. How much anxiety do you feel out there behind the wheel here tonight, knowing you got to keep that race car clean because a hard hit and a bad finish could really put you behind the 8 ball as far as the championship goes?
Well, it's sort of a catch-22 for me because I'm in a position where I got some playoff points during the year, but I didn't get that many playoff points during the year. So I'm trying to get as many stage points as I can here at Talladega, so I'm in a good position going into Kansas. But with that comes some risk of not riding around in the back and making sure that we're there at the finish and potentially getting swept up in one of these wrecks. So there's a lot of pressure, but so far I'm just trying to take it one lap at a time, try to keep myself in an okay position and avoid any trouble as much as I can, which can be a little bit of a vain effort to do sometimes, but I'm trying to do the best I can.
Well, Tyler, you're a heck of a sport for coming up here and playing along up here in the booth, bud. Great to talk to you. I believe this may be the first time we got you up on the airwaves. So what do you say we do this again sometime? Keep that 64 car clean. I'm going to run down to your pit crew down there and see the whole canister of sunflower seeds down there. So we're going to go steal a couple of those. But thanks for a couple words, bud. Keep that car clean the rest of the night. And who knows, maybe we can talk to you up here on the post-race show in the top 3. Good luck the rest of the night. A lot of laps left to go.
Thank you. I'll try not to lose any seeds along the way.
All right, well, that sounds good. I've done that a billion times, too. So that is Tyler Head. He's out there in that number 64. David Sunflower Seeds there, Tonzo. And an extended yellow flag here as it looked like there was an incident once again under caution. So that kind of slowed the field down. And let us talk to Tyler here for another brief minute. So we'll get all sorted out down there. I'm kind of short on air here, so I'm going to suck down some water, and we'll prepare for a restart. Looks like about 3/4 of a lap away.
Yeah, definitely about 3/4 of a lap away right now. Tyler Head, your current race leader. The 23 is your current race leader as of right now. Jonathan Taylor, he's electing to start on the top side. That kind of screws me up sometimes. I'm used to it at a dirt track, and sometimes I'm just not used to it here with the simulation here on the asphalt side of things. But Tyler Head right now going to be your second place runner. Third is going to be Cosman, and at number 24, Brian Mercurio, Justin Malello, Brandon Lawson in the number 9 machine, 34 of Isaac Gann, Steve Rada, Chris Emery, and David Schildhaus. Those are your top 10 here as we get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here. And we are on lap number 34 here of 117, getting ready to complete lap 34, get ready to start 35 here in the restart. So it's been an interesting race so far. We've seen 3 big ones here, and everybody out there has been quinging. And, it's took out some championship contenders. It's hurt some of these guys' runs. But right now, it looks like Tyler Head's has a benefactor for it. The 44, Brian Mercurio, 53, Justin Malala, 24, Cosman. Those guys all here in that championship hunt. The number 9 of Brandon Lawson also in the championship hunt here. They're just trying to get into the round of 8. When one of those guys like to punch their ticket into the next round here tonight, not have to worry about Kansas next week. We're going to have to wait and see. These guys getting ready to come to the Monster Energy Ultraviolet restart zone here at Talladega. Just waiting for those guys to enter that, Phil, as we're coming down the front straightaway here.
Getting ready to come to the front straightaway. Jonathan Taylor is going to bring the field back to green with Tyler Head, Cosman, Brian Mercurio, Justin Malello, Brandon Lawson, your top 3 rows. Green flag going to go back in the air. The Naur Experiment 500K back under green flag on lap number 35 now. So just through the completion of stage number 1, 30 laps going to be the distance here once again in stage number 2. So they got 25 laps more of racing before we pay out another round of playoff points. But right now the story at the front of the field, Jonathan Taylor, that blue number 23, brought the field back to the restart. He's got Brian Mercurio, that 44. They're shoving in the top lane. Problem is the car situation on the bottom side, they've stacked up with more race cars. You see Tyler Head's down there. Cosman's number 24. Malello's 53. Isaac Gann, almost a freight train to the bottom of the racetrack. The front 5 now all off the inside, off the exit of turn 4.
Yeah, definitely the bottom groove had more numbers. Strength in numbers, they say here. Drafting track, the 64 of Tyler Head leading the charge down here to go across the start finish line and complete lap number 35 here. 36 going up on the board now for lap 36. So Tyler Head, Brian Mercurio right now has fallen back here. So you got the 24 of Cosman. He's running in that second spot. Third is Justin Malello. Isaac Gann up to 4th here. David Schildhaus inside the top 5. Good run from the champ David Schildhaus. Now in 5th as now he peaks out of line with the 34 of Isaac Gann. They're trying to get something going on these Speed Inc. guys. This 34, man, he's trying to make a charge. Isaac Gann up there in the middle groove. He's got to wait for a little bit of assistance from Schildhaus and the number 9 of Lawson. The number 1 right there too. That's Dylan Smith. He's had a good run tonight, and Taylor Morgan's coming back up through the field here in a fast break number 36 machine. So those guys trying to get something working there in the middle groove as these guys on the bottom right now being dominant.
Oh, inside lane looks to be the fast way around right now is Tyler Head 64 currently out to the lead. Cosman right there in second. 53, and Malello is third. That race now is for that fourth spot between Steve Rada's number 79, Jonathan Taylor's 70 or 23 right there. Isaac in trying to make stuff happen on the top shelf. He's got David Schildhouse there. They're starting to make something happen. Brandon Lawson's number 9 stuck to the inside. That Ford up high, that the number 1 Ford of Dylan Smith. Those guys working it over on the top shelf. They've gained all the way up past now the 23 of Taylor. They're going to set their sights on the 79 of Steve Rada. Ryan Araki right there in the mix as well. I believe the 37 car. Good racing inside the top 10.
Yeah, definitely good racing inside the top 10 right now. Like you said, Isaac Gann up alongside the number 79. That's Steve Rada having a good run here. The Naur Experiment 500K at Talladega, and he's having a great run there, running on the bottom side there with help from Jonathan Taylor and a couple other guys on the bottom. Looks like the 005 of David Day. Looks like he's got repairs done to that machine, able to work his way back up through. Going to have to see what kind of drafting effect he does have here. But Isaac Gann right now leading the charge here, middle groove with the 62 of David Schildhouse, the 1 machine of Dylan Smith. Got the 9 of Brandon Lawson, like you said. You got some more speed in guys right behind them in the forms of the number 26 and the 37 of Ryan Naraki. So those guys also in the championship hunt. They're trying to get as many points as they can tonight. So we're going to wait and see. Are these guys going to calm down? So far the answer's been no. After those 3 big wrecks, these guys trying to send it here and send it in a really good fashion here, trying to make up some speed and make up some positions here, trying to set themselves up for a stage 2 win here, Phil. So we're going to wait and see how this is going to unfold. And these guys right now, man, side by side, almost for the race lead.
Just about for the race leaders. Look at that run. Isaac Gann's got to the top shelf. He's pulled alongside of Cosman. Now up alongside Tyler Head with a great shove from David Schildhouse. Dylan Smith and a whole host of cars up there working on the top lane. Now put that number 34, Isaac Gann. No stranger here to victory lane. A 4-time winner this season of the Verizon Cup Series. He's up to the front, but Tyler Head, the 64, we just talked to Tyler. He's going to battle back on the inside lane. 2 by 2 by 2 from first, all the way back outside the top 30. Look at this racing here at Talladega Super Speedway. Call Isaac Gann the leader at the line as 40 laps go up on the board.
Yeah, Isaac Gann, your current race leader right now, looking at the onboard video here of the number 26 of Kevin McAdams as he's going to work here. And just look at him right here behind Taylor Morgan's is McAdams, a championship contender. Oh, contact made! Oh, boy, we seen that, and we're on board with Kevin McAdams right now, Phil, and he's going around too.
Woo! Holy cow, another big wreck there. The 4th one of the night, and we're getting one of these every 10 laps. And, you know, we're out there in the chat box, and I see, Joe Allen's been out there, Blake McCandless, both those guys out of the event, seeing, BSR Ricky J, BSR Texan. Really cool to see the BSR guys tuning in. Hope you guys out there are all doing well. But, I got to agree with Texan. Green flag pit stops would really be a plus for what this race would look like. Really would change the complexion of the race. See these guys sort out, and maybe the better cars come up to the front. But unfortunately, Todd, now the 4th caution flag of the night on lap number 40. And, unfortunately, all these hard hits, and some of these cars have been hit multiple times. It's really going to send the attrition rate up high. It was a great crowd of 41 that started, but this one's going to gather up at least 2 or 3 more cars. And what started off as 40 plus, if the rate we're going, it may whittle down into the 20s here if these guys don't calm down and get these things underneath them.
Most definitely, Phil, as we're getting ready to go with live replay here of what happened. And this one involved, we were running in cockpit here with Kevin McAdams. And, now we're going to ride with Tyler Head here as he just, it looks like a bump draft gone wrong here again. And it looks like just a bumper hook here from I believe that's number 24 there, Cosman. And around he goes, and that just causes a chain reaction here. And this guy spinning all around. You got Steve Rada. Tyler Head goes and pounds the inside wall once again. So, Rada hitting the wall. Oh, man, unfortunate for some of these guys out there having great races, and they're getting ripped away from them here, Phil. Is contact just being made here, and another big one here, but this time on the back straightaway.
Yeah, this one tore up a bunch of cars here. The 64 of Tyler Head, it looks like may have started this one, and where all set from. And just trying to go back and watch a review with the replay there, Todd. Tape delayed on my end of the broadcast, and yeah, this thing happened right up to the front. Tyler Head's car, almost a bump draft gone wrong right off the side of the 34, and that just set off a big wreck behind. There's guys trying to lock the brakes up, and there's just really nowhere to go. When things happen here at Talladega, they happen in an absolute hurry, and you can see that all night long as there are so many gathered up race cars. We'll update the point scenarios here later, but, you know, Talladega knows no bounds, knows no car numbers, knows no situation. When these big ones happens that lurk around every corner, they can absolutely gather up everybody out there, regardless if you're in the championship chase or not. And the problem is for that, if you are in these playoffs, you're on the outside looking in, or you're right there on the edge, you can't afford to be one of these wrecks. But, golly, we've seen a lot of cars tore up already.
Yeah, definitely seen a lot of cars tore up here. I believe 4 big ones here, Phil. It is moderate damage here this evening, so the damage is not as effective here as maybe full-on damage, but moderate damage here, super speedway. So some of these guys able to get their damage fixed, able to still be competitive here. But we've lost quite a few good drivers throughout the field there, Phil, and a lot of good drivers that are out early that had some pretty good shots here of winning this race tonight. And Isaac Gann right now, your current race leader, he has no dog in the fight, really, besides to come and pick up that W. He's not in it for points right now. Isaac Ganton is your current race leader. You got David Shieldhouse just making a rare appearance, and it's great to see the champ out there. He's running second. Cosman, who is in it for points right now, running third. Fourth is Dylan Smith. Michael Frisch in that number 41 machine. Man, we haven't talked about him all evening long. He's running fifth. Mr. Excitement David Day running 6th. 7th is Brandon Lawson. Taylor Morgan's Kyle Riley here in 9th. 10th is Keith Sherman. And that number 33, Phil, is looks like these guys starting to get restacked and repacked.
All right, so the field getting ready to come back to the restart. Was going to see if we couldn't grab a word with somebody up in their top 10, but we're going to let this field get back all sorted out. I know we got some in-race communication with a lot of guys here tonight. We're going to have some in-race reporters. But I'm going to do this in a really good way for these guys tonight. Do not want to bring them up there while these races, you know, we've had really good double file racing. The way these guys have wrecked here, piling up cars for the first 40 laps. I think the best thing to do there, Todd, is let these guys concentrate. So if we get around through a green flag pit stop, so the field kind of sorts itself out or the racing calms down, we'll get to utilize this gaggle of pit in-race reporters that all want to be a part of the show. So I want to talk to them all. The problem is we've had so many wrecks to show and, you know, all white knuckle racing out there. Is this race hasn't had any complexion yet of even a sort of calming down as we're awaiting green flag conditions now. Green flag, and I go back on the speedway. Isaac Gann and David Shieldhouse going to lead the field to green.
Yeah, Isaac Gann and David Shieldhouse into that restart zone. The ultraviolet Monster Energy restart zone. Green flag is in the air. We're back to racing here. Lap and a half to get up to full song, but it doesn't take long for some of these guys to start switching lanes. They have a favorite lane that they want to be in, and that's where they feel comfortable the most right now, Phil. And man, with these tore-up cars, I'm not sure who I would pick to go with here as far as right now. I know Isaac Gant's been pretty much clean and green. He has a little bit of damage to the right side of that 34 machine, but it doesn't seem to hamper his progress through the field. But here comes Michael Frisch up in front of the number 62 of David Shieldhouse. We got another line foreman here through the middle. That's being led by the number 9 of Brandon Lawson. Lawson right now up through the middle. The 41 of Michael Frisch way up on the top side of the speedway here at Talladega.
And look at that awesome run through the middle line. Brandon Lawson with help of Kyle Riley and the 10 of Nick Gunther. They may shoot their way all the way off to the race lead. 3 wide off of turn number 4. Isaac Gann down low. Brandon Lawson in the middle. Michael Frisch up high. Who's it going to be at the line? Look at this gaggle of race cars here. Look like give it to the inside lane. Isaac Gann, but they're still locked 3 wide there for second position on back off of turn number 2.
Yeah, still locked 3 wide here. Now it looks like it's evening out here down on the bottom side, but these guys are able to fight back on the top shelf and the middle groove here. Lawson trying to get some run going here, but not able to do so. Look at these guys just right bumper to bumper to bumper. The top 3, that's Isaac Gann, the 24 of Cosman, and the 37 of Ryan Naraki. Those guys all right tight together, and that pays off here as that launches and propels that lead draft here for the guys on the bottom, I should say, right into the lead, Phil.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of enjoying the pictures out there and kind of keeping up with everybody. YouTube chat has been alive all night long. Facebook Live's doing well. Twitch TV's got a couple of stragglers in there as well. Thank you guys all for tuning in here live tonight on Full Velocity TV. Hope you're enjoying the show just as much as we are bringing it to you. We'd love to showcase what your league got going on live on Full Velocity TV. If you're watching on Facebook Live, well, you're right in the place. Send us a direct message there or hit us up through an old-fashioned email, fullvelocitytv@gmail.com. Reach out to Todd or myself on Facebook. We'll get a hold of you. Drop us that email. We'll respond as fast as we can. Get your date scheduled in now. We would love to showcase all the racing got going on. If it's set on 2003, if you're iRacing or whatever else you may be doing out there, if you're doing it, we would love to showcase it off in this, absolute professional environment. We try to give all these great pictures, the sonic boom of sound wave that is Full Velocity TV, having a great time out here with FTF tonight. The Naur Experiment 500K at the Talladega Superspeedway, 46 of 117 laps in. We have been slowed by 4 caution flags for 4 multiple car wrecks that have claimed a whole lot of victims out there tonight. Looks like a lot of cars that still running. A couple of cars have sprinkled their way behind the wall, include the 088 of Jeffrey Goodpaster. Also behind the wall, the 00 of Phil Parker, Joe Allen's 028 motor going down under the caution flag. So 3 drivers officially out of this race, Todd, at 46 laps through 4 caution flags. I'm almost staggered that we don't have more attrition than we do right now.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the attrition has not hit as hard as I thought it was going to with all the wrecks that have happening, and you got the rear wheel spinning. Usually that makes a little bit of engine problem for these machines right now. A lot of these guys are still in the race, and that goes to show you what moderate damage does for you. It goes to show you that they're able to keep it off the wall a little bit more than they wanted to, so they're able to keep it off the wall and be able to be clean and green here. And the draft plays a key role. You could have some damage. You could get tucked up behind somebody, Phil. You might not be able to pull out a line, but you could be tucked up behind somebody and just work with them all the way to the front here. So that's one of those things at Talladega that you can do. That's kind of the advantage here with the drafting effect here. As the number 9 of Brandon Lawson now leading the charge here through the middle groove. Looks like he's going to take over the lead in that number 9 machine.
And I really thought it was only a matter of time the way that he really got up through the middle lane, had some really committed partners there with Kyle Riley's 43 car, Ryan Araki in there in the mix as well, the 8 of Jordan Buster. But Brandon Lawson going to work his way up to the lead. And I've been kind of migrating, Todd. I'm kind of mid-pack, trying to watch where all the comers and goers are. I'm back there watching where the 30 car of Corey Carpenter is. Looks like I'm trying to, the 8 of Jordan Buster's up ahead. David Schildhouse is back here. Taylor Morgans is back here. Justin Malello. I'm kind of sprinkled outside the top 10. That's where I've kind of gathered from my perch right now to watch where these guys all are. But just watching the way this racetrack, we would usually see topside dominant. Right now, it's pretty equal from top to bottom lane. It's really making for really good races next time around. 49 laps going to go on the board. They work their way off of turn 4.
It looks like Kyle O'Reilly was going to take over the lead there in that number 43 machine as he made a move to ditch the number 9 of Brandon Lawson. Not going to be able to do so this time but he's down on the bottom here trying to get to the lead. He wants to lead here on Full Velocity TV, wants to see what kind of car strength he does have in that number 43 machine. Again, he is in the championship hunt, is Kyle O'Reilly. Again, the banner, the red banner, the Verizon banner that's across these cars, you can see it here on the 43 of Kyle O'Reilly, the number 9 of Brandon Lawson. That means they are still left here in the chase for the FTF Verizon Cup Championship here. Right now, Kyle O'Reilly has the charge here on the bottom. Can the 9 of Lawson get it tuned up on the top side? I think it's going to be Kyle O'Reilly to lead this time by Phil. So Kyle O'Reilly, another leader here at Talladega.
Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly going to lead a lap. And Todd, I'm looking up near the top shelf of the racetrack, and a third line has formed out there. I seen Keith Sherman's number 33 car out there on that top shelf. He's got Joseph Weaver, I think, up there stuck in the middle lane. Also seeing Taylor Morgan's running the top shelf, Kevin McAdams. Those guys are making a run now. Kevin going to sprinkle from a top lane to the bottom lane, make that really good move there. That's racing with Brandon Lawson now for the 3rd spot. Kevin McAdams trying to make his way up. That's racing now inside the top 5. His positions all changing up here as Kyle Riley's up in the lead. Nick Gunther is there. Isaac Gann, Cosman, Ryan Naraki, your current top 5. So many comers and goers. I'm just going to let the pictures tell the story with 50 laps on the board because you really can't keep up with all the lead changes, the lane changes. What I can tell you right now is Todd Kyle Riley found his way in the sucker hole in that middle lane. He is free falling now for the lead. Looks like all the way out to the back part of the top 10, maybe even beyond the top 10 once this crowd hits the field into turn 3.
Yeah, that's a tough one for Kyle O'Reilly. Nick Gunther, your current race leader in that number 10 machine. So Nick Gunther does not belong. He's not in the championship, so he is not where he wants to be right now, obviously, Phil. But the championship contenders is not where he wants them to be. So the Nick Gunther machine, the number 10 machine, is he's leading right now, Isaac Gann. So you got a pair of guys that are not in the championship hunt, trying just to go for that W, which a lot of the guys do in the chase formats. They're trying to take those points away. They may even be key factors to see who's in and who's out here as they're just they're running here, but they want that W just as well as anybody else. But Nick Gunther having a good run there, and that number 10 machine, Isaac Gann, running third. Third is Cosman. Fourth is Ryan Naraki. Jordan Buster is fifth. Buster also in the championship hunt. He's in the bottom four, though, in that number 8 machine.
Oh, he certainly is. Jordan Buster needed a good run here at Talladega tonight. Currently up in the top 5 is now a third line forming once again off of turn 2. Down the backstretch, we documented Kyle Riley falling out of the lead. Well, he's trying to make it happen in the top lane again, trying to pull up alongside Doug Lockrose, number 85. Can't quite make it happen there. That's racing going on, way outside the top 10. That's racing for about that 18th, 19th position. So I'm all the way back here looking mid-pack, Todd, because I keep seeing cars, dive from the top shelf to the bottom side to the middle lane of the racetrack, and I just saw Kyle Riley making a move up high. Now he's got his way sucked up into the middle and trying to make stuff happen as Kyle Riley, who was once about 3 laps ago our leader, is now relegated all the way back outside the top 15, about 17th last time around.
Yeah, man. And Kyle Riley right now, like you said, he's actually running in 16th as my scoring time and reset there that time by Phil. So you were right on the point there with that number 43 machine is Chris Wetz in the 71 able to get down below him. Now is this bottom groove starting to work over, but you got the middle groove, man. I've ran in multiple different grooves around these tracks, and the middle groove does not make me very comfortable half the time there, Phil. I want to be either way up top or way down on the bottom. Middle groove, I don't like that sucker hole, and for some reason, I always get caught up in some kind of incident if I'm in the middle there. Maybe I propel to the lead for a little bit, but the middle groove, man, you take so many chances coming up through, but I've seen a lot of victories come out of that groove too.
Well, you say you don't like the middle groove. I'm going to tell you you're full of crap because I've run these races with you before. We've done some super speedway racing, a while back, and you always love to make things happen out there along with our Full Velocity TV colleague, Martin Karch, who does all our graphic work. But you say you don't like the middle lane. I think you're full of crap. You know who doesn't like it right now? The 34 of Isaac Gann, who was once up in the lead. Now he's free falling through the middle lane. So the stack of cars really migrating up top. A good lane of race cars down low. That middle lane, Todd, it almost looks like you have to make a slingshot from one of these lanes to that middle to maybe get a good side draft, get a good suck through the turbulence that both of those lanes make up. But right now, if you're stuck in that middle groove, kind of all by yourself, you're really going nowhere. We know Isaac Gann's got a fast piece, but look at him now, free fall all the way outside the top 10.
Yeah, definitely. And you're watching right now Arnold Columbia leading last time by there in that number 39 machine with Keith Sherman running in that second spot to 33. So they were able to overtake the number 10 of Nick Gunther and the number 24 Cosman that were working on the bottom side. Right now, the middle groove, not the place to be. Obviously, that's all broken apart. Those guys are finding ways to go either up top or way down to the bottom here, Phil. And yeah, I guess I've ran the middle. It's not my favorite place to be. You can make some moves there. Oh, man, these guys down on the apron, they touch Cosman, the 37 of Ryan Naraki. Man, they're able to bring up Gunther there. Gunther now stuck in the sucker hole in that number 10 machine. But, oh, man, those Speed Inc. guys, wicked fast. They get him out of line. The 24 of Cosman going to lead the charge. And, oh, contact made again. And, oh, he saves it. Oh, they're bottled up there, Phil. Oh, man, that could have been a bad one there through turn 2.
Oh, it really could have. And, you see these guys, throwing some really evasive maneuvers, and I'm not sure blocking is legal at this point in the race, but I think what you're seeing right there, Todd, is these guys just fighting so hard to keep their position on the racetrack, nobody wanting to surrender anything, and I think a part of that right now is, we're getting down to under 5 laps to go in stage number 2, so it's time once again to pay off those playoff points that may happen, and you see guys currently in the championship 12 right now, guys like Cosmo up in the top 10, he's only one of the top 5. Ryan Araki currently 6th. Kevin McAdams 8th. Jordan Buster is 9th. Corey Carper currently running 10th. You got Chris Wetz, Brandon Lawson, Tyler Head right there 11 through 13. So these guys are all going to make something happen. If they want these playoff points, you're going to see these guys take unnecessary chances. You just hope they do so within the realm of the rules because from what I understand, blocking is illegal up at 10 laps to go. So you can't make that evasive maneuver. You don't want to do that now because you don't ever want to get hit in a post-race penalty, because that is something else that, if you're racing for a championship, that could completely ruin your season as well.
Yeah, definitely. Just threw the top 10 up there just momentarily, Phil, just to see how different it's going to change here over the next few laps as we get ready to come to stage 2 winner. So we're going to wait and see. As right now, Arnold Columbia, your race leader, these guys all move themselves down to the bottom. I'm going to see if they're going to wait to make some moves, as Chris Wett's way up top there. 71 machine looks like the first guy to jump out of line. So who's going to go with him is Jordan Buster's working on the bottom here with the Speed Inc. guys. He thinks that's the way to go. So these guys not out of line yet. But you got to remember, we're still a couple laps away here from stage 2 completion. So these guys, who's going to be the first to jump out of the line and try to make a charge here at Arnold Columbia in that number 39 machine?
Yeah, Arnold doing a great job. How about the run for the 33 of Keith Sherman? I know he's got a whole lot of support over here, Todd. I've been monitoring YouTube chat all night long, and, I see a lot of love out there for that number 33, the Shermanator, as they call him, out there in the sim racing world. Keith Sherman's number 33, subbing for Adam Conall. Keith was doing one hell of a job out there. That 33 currently running second. He's got friend Jonathan Taylor pushing him in the 23. So these guys right now doing all the right things up front. I believe this time around, Todd, we're coming to stage white. So as this field sprints down the backstretch, you see these guys, trying to put themselves in position to score these playoff points. We'll see if we can't score the top 10, but now a huge wreck into turn number 3. This is going to end the stage at the line, so they're going to race back, and this one may gobble up even more race cars. So we'll see if we can't cover out of turn number 4. It looks like Arnold Columbia is going to hold on to win stage number 2 as these guys make that last bold move. Shermanator moving outside, so give stage number 2 to Arnold Columbia. Cosman going to finish up second. Ryan Araki third, Kevin McAdams fourth, Jonathan Taylor fifth, Keith Sherman ends up sixth, Kyle Riley, he comes all the way back to rebound to seventh, Chris Wett's eighth, Brian Mercurio scores points there in ninth, and Jordan Busters grabs the last stage point. He finishes up in the 8 car in that 10th spot, so those playoff points got to be huge for the 8 car at this juncture. But Todd, once again, for the 5th time tonight, under the caution flag now on lap number 60. So I'm going to give you a brief second here to go back as you show the standings here for stage number 2. We'll give you a second to go back and screen through this replay. But guys out there in YouTube chat, we're past the halfway mark. We're past the end of stage 2. We're going to race the rest of this thing out all the way to the checkered flag with all playoff points left to the side. But what are you guys out there in YouTube chat thinking? What do you think of the race? What do you think of the product? Let us know what you all got going on. I know you guys out there, and definitely on YouTube. Facebook's been great. Twitch has been good. You guys out there, keep it going out there all night long. You guys have been awesome. But tell us what you think of the race so far. It has definitely been slowed by its good deal of caution flags here tonight. Multiple cars all tore up. I see guys like Blake McCandless have retired now. Looks like he may have lost an engine through this last green flag run. I see Sonny Talbot still out there parading. He's got, a little bit of damage. He is 8 laps down. But Todd, instead of me wasting any more time, killing time, what do you say we go down there and show the 5th replay of the night? I believe another multiple car incident. Show us what happened.
Yeah, definitely another multi-car incident here, and it's all stemmed. It looks like Jordan Buster, it looks like 30 of Corey Carpenter tried to almost bumper hooked him again. It just looks like another product of super speedway racing. The 30 right there, and he gets a little bit out of shape, goes back down front, tries to get back up in front of the number 62, David Schildhouse, and around he goes, and carnage ensues. The champ involved, the 85 of Doug Lockrow involved, the champ doing side surfing, not quite roof surfing. He's up on the side. He was able to go away, but the 30 is able to get it righted pretty quickly and able to pull away. But just looking at what happened here as you're watching the 62 machine, again, in rewind, the 53 Justin Malello involved again, and again, he's in the bottom 4. That's not what he wanted to see. And again, look, Phil, this is why I don't like to be in the middle. Justin Malello in the middle, oh man, he had nowhere to go. I mean, he had cars on either side of him. What was he supposed to do? That's why I don't like to be in the middle there. And unfortunate chain of events for the 53 Justin Malello, but a lot of cars tore up once again here at Talladega.
Yep, all tore up to pieces, and that definitely sucks for sure. As we're under the caution flag once again, and this is definitely tore up a couple of race cars, but we're going to see if we can't grab somebody under this yellow flag. It sounds like we're going to have a couple of seconds here. And we've talked to this guy before, an old colleague of ours, has gone on to bigger endeavors with his broadcast career, but making a rare appearance at FTF here tonight. We got to talk to a 2016 season champ, the champ David Schildhouse. Champ, it's Phil Lacasse, Todd Stanton. Bud, how the heck are you doing? How's that race car after another wreck out there? Looked like you weren't so lucky to get through this one.
The car's okay. The driver's okay, but we still got a long way to go. We're only to the end of the second stage. We still got a long third stage to go here to wrap this thing up. A lot of excitement, a lot of wrecks. Guys are driving hard, and I think we got this number 62 Beard Oil Ford Fusion fixed up. I think we'll be all right. We'll find out here when we get under speed, but I don't like getting caught up in those things.
Now, tell me, I mean, we're here at Talladega, of course. It's a super speedway where everybody kind of feels like a superhero. Do you think that's what's happening out there tonight? Are these guys kind of driving over their head, giving us all these caution flags, tearing up all these race cars, or is this just one of those things that happens at Talladega? What do you think? Is it over-aggressive, or is this kind of things happening?
I think some of it's circumstantial, Phil, from what I see out here. Guys are driving hard. There's no doubt about it. Playoff implications on the line points. Stage points are very important to a lot of guys. But team orders might be coming into play later in the race. Stay tuned for that. But the team work itself is really fantastic. All the guys on the macaroni salad team with chicken pot pie conglomerates and friends are working really well together. And we've got 2 stage wins to our credit now. Mile High is, or not Mile High, but Speed Inc. is working together really well, although Kevin's got some damage, but they're trying their best. So, guys are just racing real close, trying to push and work together, and sometimes it just goes wrong.
Well, champion, as always, it is really good to talk to you. What brings a guy like you, with all the prestige you got going on, a lot of busy times for you, Mr. Schildhouse? So you're back in school, you got the broadcast career going on, the working the full-time job. What gets you to come out of retirement for a night like tonight? Is it just the ambience of being at Talladega? Is it Full Velocity TV, or do you just share a miss racing out there week after week like these guys at FTF do?
I was saying earlier, it was nice to come into the playoff Talladega race, not having to worry about points or a championship. Just come out, be loose, have fun. But really, I just want to come out, do one more Talladega race, before it was all said and done, and I'll probably have 1 or 2 more starts before we wrap up the season in Homestead. But I got a lot of time, but I can always find time as well to fit it into the schedule and come put on a good show for everyone here on Full Velocity TV. Get to talk to my friends Phil Lacasse and Todd Stanton and play around on a Sunday night. It's enjoyable.
I like it, my friend. Well, as always, great to talk to you. Great to see you out on the racetrack again. And you are living proof that race car drivers, they never truly retire. They just look for a good excuse to come out and play, bud. So good to see you. Good luck the rest of the night. Give that 62 a good ride, as I know you will. And awesome to see you out there racing once again, brother.
Thanks. It's good to be here for one more start, and I appreciate the time on Full Velocity TV, Phil. Thanks to everyone watching. We've got big viewership out there. I see about 40 people watching this race, so it's really cool, really exciting for the good guys here at FTF to get this kind of exposure, and Full Velocity TV to bring it all to you. So thank you.
All right, that's awesome. Yeah, YouTube's been great. Facebook Live been alive tonight. Twitch TV's been hopping as well. So, yeah, great things going on over here at FTF tonight. And that is our old buddy Todd, the champ, David Schildhouse. Always great to talk to the champ. Always one of the better interviews out there. And a guy who's so well-spoken. I know a colleague of ours. We've done a lot of broadcasts with him. Always cool to listen to the champ and see what he has to say, because you just never know. He always has a good nugget for us. And once again, he calls it not these guys maybe being over-aggressive, just kind of circumstantial racing at this point.
Yeah, they want to get those points and different things. They don't have to worry about it. Like you said, it's nice to come into these events and not have to worry about points and just go out there and try to win the race or do the best that you can do. And that's something that David Schildhouse is noted for. Is he's pretty cool, calm, and collected under many of circumstances. This has to make him almost rather cool than maybe I'm going to say than when he won the championship. I'm sure that was a cool moment for him, but this makes it even cooler as far as being able to come out to Talladega, be able to, just compete for the win. No points, and it's sort of like Wednesday night street fights, Phil. It's no points, no implications, just bragging rights.
I love it. I love the thought right there of racing looks like we do a Wednesday night with DWR on Wednesday night street fights, but We are here for having a Sunday night dogfight of our own for the Naur Experiment 500K. About to go back under the green flag. Ryan the Rocky. Cosman going to bring us to green. Armor Columbia. Jonathan Taylor, row 2. Kevin McAdams and Kyle Riley. That is your Super 6 to the tribal. Green flag back in the air. They're going to stop on this loud pedal. CTS physics on. It takes these guys no time at all to get up to speed. They are back racing toward turn number 1. Ryan the Rocky leads the field to green.
Yeah, Ryan Rocky comes down to the bottom immediately right in front of his teammate, the number 24, Cosman. Cosman now able to work over the bottom here. They left the 23 hanging to Jonathan Taylor, but he does have help from the 43 of Kyle Riley up top. But the bottom's where they want to be right now. Watching these guys move around. The 44 of Brian Mercurio goes from the bottom to the top. The 64 of Tyler Head, bottom to the top. These guys trying to pit some different moves here. There's a 23 starting to make a little bit of a charge. That's Jonathan Taylor up top there. Up alongside the number 37 machine. That is Ryan Naraki. So they're side by side coming out of turn number 4. These guys just getting up to full speed here.
Oh, yeah, they are. Look at the run the outside lane got up there. Jonathan Taylor with a really good shove from Kyle Riley's number 43. It looks like unofficially, I think as they hit the line, I think we're going to call Jonathan Taylor our current race leader. Kyle Riley, the good shove up there. Ryan Naraki, second. Steve Rada's up there, that 79. He's the third car. Pushing on the outside lane. Good racing going on inside the top 5 throughout this entire field. From first on the 28th, Todd, they were separated by one lonely second even from the lead all the way back to 28th running. Number 97, Jessica Shelton, within 1 second. That just shows you how close the racing is. Also shows you why danger can lurk around every corner. 65 laps in. Nobody giving an inch off of turn number 2.
Yeah, definitely nobody giving an inch off of turn number 2 here. Is Phil, we're going down through the trial. Though here is the number 23 right now, Jonathan Taylor, your current race leader. Like you said, he just able to compete here up front with the 37 to Arnold Columbia running, or 37 to Ryan Naraki running in that second spot.
Got Naraki there in that second spot. Cosman currently at third car on the inside, and you know, it's kind of scanning around all over the place, Todd, looking with 26 of Kevin McAdams has rebounded back to the top 10, updating our point lead of the 36 car of Taylor Morgans. Well, he's been, you know, collected a couple of times tonight. The 36 currently running in the 14th position. Looking further back, you know, some championship contenders. Finding Brandon Lawson back there, currently running 18th. Chris Wetz, championship contenders, they are running 19th. Guys like Justin Malello all tore up. Todd currently running 25th. So you got to think Justin may be feeling some anxiety. He says he's one of the guys here. Believe the last bubble spot currently Justin sits on, running 25th at Talladega. That is not the night Justin Malello envisioned. I think this is the night he was kind of scared of, to be collected on one of these wrecks and relegated now outside the top 20 and really having to race for his life inside these packs is definitely unsettling.
Yeah, definitely unsettling there, Phil, watching these guys and have to watch these guys just go back and forth and, you know, have the damage early. And like you said, he was in the bottom 4. I can't remember or recall where he was definitely at there. We're going to have to show that back up for the fans out there that may have joined us late of who is in and who is out kind of ordeal of the championship hunt here. Is these guys right now, we're on race 2 here of the round of 12, so we're getting ready to go to the round of 8. So this is where implications start to crumble, as you're going to say, is that you're able to run rather well, but like Justin Malello right now, 25th. I mean, that's so hard to overcome going into Kansas. And Kansas is one of those tracks, momentum track. It's a cookie cutter track. Sometimes I often call the cookie cutter tracks kind of boring, Phil, but when FTF goes there, they're not boring, but there's some rather dominant guys at those cookie cutter type of tracks.
Well, if FTF is doing it, it's certainly not going to be boring, and Kansas next week will certainly be an experience onto itself as we whittle that championship 16 onto that final 8 here as we get to Elimination Night next Sunday night here. Full Velocity TV is going to have you covered flag to flag here next Sunday night. But racing going on up near the lead now. Jonathan Taylor is 23. He makes an evasive maneuver, blocking the 79 of Steve Rada. That almost stacked up the entire field there. Big wreck in turn number 3 and 4. That stacked up the entire field from third on back. And I'm not exactly sure what happened there, Todd, as I'm trying to go back and take a peek. But I saw the 23 car dive out of the lead. It kind of stacked up the 79 of Steve Rada, and I'm not sure if that's where the caution flag came from or not, but I saw smoke happening from back beyond back there. So maybe it may be one of those things where the 23 may have thrown the block and it stacked up cars behind him, but nonetheless, under caution flag now for the sixth time here tonight. Just trying to find where this one happened. It happened mid-pack. It tore up a lot of race cars. Saw a couple of cars up in the air. Oh, one car way, way up the fence. I think you got a peek of it on the live view, and oh my God, I think that's Brian Mercurio's car that may have got a piece. Looks like one of the Speed Inc. cars also completely destroyed. So, Todd, I'm going to allow you to go back there and show this one. I think you got this on the live feed, but Full Velocity TV replay, this one is going to be hot. Holy crap is all I can say.
So this one is rather interesting, and we're looking at Steve Rada kind of picking the left side tires up as he gets that apron. So we're going to go here. Jonathan Taylor and Steve Rada. Rada comes up the track, hits into Ryan Naraki, and this is where these guys get a pilot license here. Ryan Naraki up over the catch fence here. Also the 64 Tyler Head, and the 44 and the, oh man, they're making love up there. The 44 of Brian Mercurio and the 37 of Ryan Naraki. Just look at these guys. They're just inside each other. They're outside of each other. It's just the torn up race cars here. Taylor Morgan's involved in that one. David Schildhouse. Just utter carnage here. Pilot licenses, flips, and all kinds of different shindigs going on here. I'm just going to keep replaying this back and forth, and man, a lot of these guys had nowhere to go, like Schildhouse. Nowhere to go here in this wreck in that 62 machine, and man, it's just it all started to stem from the 79, I do believe, coming back up here, and he just wasn't at the right place at the right time. The apron hit him, and again, another product of Super Speedway Racing. Heavy smoke coming out of the 37 machine of Ryan Naraki. 44 of Brian Mercurio's got to be done too, and that's a tough break for some of these guys. Again, championship guys that are in the hunt now having very, very bad luck here, and tough break.
Yeah, it really is. And you see Naraki, and I just looking at the in-race chatter, heartbroken. Looks like his championship run with that big wreck may be done. Brian Mercurio completely tore up in the 44. If that car's still running, it's certainly not going to be, in good shape at all. Brian Mercurio, third in the standings, definitely going to, ruin his night. And I think he's pulled it behind the wall. Looks like that one's going to go off on the hook. So maybe Brian Mercurio is the interview, Todd, that I'm going to try to run down and get. So we'll see if we can't catch up with Brian Mercurio's number 44, as that was a pretty hard hit, and I'd like to get his insight on it. So give me a brief second, Todd, as I throw it back to you, and we'll see if we can't talk to the driver of the 44.
Yeah, indeed. We're going to bring up some of the screens here, the standings, I'm going to say, of what's going on here. And right now we got the owners' points, obviously, up there. And looking at the owners' points, we're going to go right to the playoff standings here. And you can look at the guys that are advancing so far, the bottom four, and then who was eliminated here in the round of 16. So we're round of 12 right now. Ryan Naraki, man, he was 11th. He was in the bottom four. That's a tough break for the 37 machine out of this event. Chris Wetz, the number 12, he was running around still, I do believe, Jordan Buster and Justin Malalo. Kyle O'Reilly, Tyler Head has had some issues. He wasn't heavily involved in that one. Cosman, I believe, was able to get through that. But Taylor Morgan's also involved there, Phil. So Kevin McAdams has had some wrecks. And Brian Mercurio, who is running fourth here in the championship hunt, is going to lose some valuable points here at Talladega.
Oh, absolutely right there, Todd. Another one to go on the field. But as promised, I've come down here toward pit side, see if we can't contact Brian Mercurio. Brian, it's Phil LaCassa, Full Velocity TV, bud. Do you have a copy? First of all, you okay?
Yeah, I got you. I'm good.
All right, buddy. Well, you had a really good piece out there. Led some laps of that 44. It was a really nice piece, but golly, restrictor plate racing gobbles up another really fast race car. I mean, that was a hard hit. What did you see from the driver's seat? That was pretty much unavoidable.
Yeah, just trying to work with a lot of the True North and Macaroni Salad guys up there. I believe that was Taylor up there. He was just kind of switching between the lanes, trying to figure out where the run was coming from. And what I saw was he just kind of moved down a little bit, going into turn one, kind of cut off I think that was a 79 a little bit. And then him and the 37 got together. 37 came with a track right into me, and then, had that pretty violent wreck.
it was kind of on from there, and your car was pretty up high in the air, so I wanted to make sure after that hit you were okay. But talk about how this affects your championship, standing right now. You came in tonight third in the standings, had a pretty good, comfortable idea of a buffer zone, but now with a wrecked race car, and it looks like unofficially probably about a 35th place finish. What's that anxiety feeling like as you head to Kansas next week?
It's definitely upsetting. You always like to build as much of a cushion as you can. Normally, I don't consider myself that good of a super speedway racer, but I was feeling really good tonight. I won stage 1, finished I think 9th in stage 2, so I at least had a pretty good shot going, and I was just hoping to at least get a good finish to kind of capitalize on the good run that I had throughout the rest of the race. But unfortunately, that didn't really happen, and feel pretty good about mile and a half. So I've ran pretty well there all season. So I mean, just looking forward to next week. Restrictor plate racing happens. You can only do so much, and I was just a victim.
Well, Brian, we saw just coming back to the restart, they waved it off late, and a couple of guys got into each other, so it gives you another minute here to speak to you. But yeah, you talk about where the championship scenario sit. Definitely going to put everybody on edge next week at Kansas. But for the remaining part of this race, 72 laps up 117. For a guy who is out there, living out there, racing around these guys at Talladega, what are your predictions for the rest of the night? What do you think we can expect to see as we get down to the waiting laps?
Definitely gonna be a lot of teamwork and communication. I know you got the Speed Inc. guys and the Mile High guys working together. You got K-Mac and Justin and Cosman working together, and then you got the big group with the True North and Macaroni Salad guys. So it's definitely going to be a battle, sort of like how we saw in real life today with the Stuart Haas guys, just kind of controlling the field. There's going to be some team up there who's going to get a line going, and they're just going to try and control the whole race and get as many teammates up there, and just try and get as best a finish as they can. So that was how it was shaking up, and then when you have guys trying to move from the back to the front, guys start getting real impatient, especially as the laps start winding down. So expect some wrecks from people just being a little too aggressive.
Well, Brian, you're absolutely a championship caliber type of interview. Really good to talk to you out here. Really sucks to see you out of the event so soon, but regroup, rebound from this one, and let's catch up again next week at Kansas, bud. Best of luck, and we're hopefully going to see you advance. You're really good out there. Really great interview, and one of the good ones. We'll definitely be rooting for you next week to advance your way onto the round of 8. So once again, thanks for a couple of words, and unfortunately your night's going to end early, but keep your head high, brother. You had a really good run going.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
All right, Brian Mercurio, the leader of Merc Nation we see out there from time to time out on Full Velocity TVs. We'll move back down to, I believe, let me see where are we going here. Brian, you said True North Motorsports Room. I just want to confirm.
Yeah, True North and Macaroni Salad Autosport.
All right, 10-4. I wanted to make sure we put him back to the right room. It's not normal, Todd. You come to FTF, you see everybody sprinkled throughout the race channels out there in their own designated teams, and you see like 10 to 12 guys on one channel. So want to make sure you put them back in the proper channel out here. So always going to make sure it's really tough to go out there and check. But one to go on the speedway, we're going to set ready to go once again. But we're going to run down here and see if we can't catch up with Ryan Naraki as we get ready for now another restart.
Yeah, indeed, another restart going to happen. It's going to be Cosman, your race leader, Jordan Buster, David Day, Corey Carpenter, Kevin McAdams, Joseph Weaver, Justin Malello, Keith Sherman, Mike Fallon, and Taylor Morgans is going to be your top 10. We get to go back to green flag here. It's the number 24 of Cosman going to lead him down. So right now we're on the back straightaway. We have a little bit of time, and we are restacked and repacked. So we're just waiting, Phil, to see what's going to happen here. As we've had 6 big wrecks now throughout the field. A lot of torn up cars. I don't know what car doesn't have damage out there, Phil. If you're up in the lead here, you probably don't have a lot of damage, but some of these cars have endured a ton of damage here this evening.
Tore up cars, maybe some tore up feelings, and I know a voice box that is going to be definitely tore up after this one is over is 73 laps of 117 that make up the 500K distance tonight. for the Naur Experiment 500K at the Talladega Superspeedway. Of course, FTF Racing, their playoffs here for 2018. We have the entire 10-race slate. This is week number 5. We're going to have 5 more weeks of great racing right here every Sunday night. So you're going to tune in right here to Full Velocity TV, not only Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and now on Twitch TV /Full Velocity TV. You guys are tuned in. You are locked into the greatest spot to be. We are back to green flag racing here, Todd, through the Tri-Oval. Cosman and Jordan Buster are going to lead the field to green. Started looking over the field now, I believe. Green flag going to unfurl. We're back underway.
Yeah, we are in that restart zone, back underway. Cosman got up through the gearbox pretty quick in that number 24 machine. He's going to be able to pull along the 005 of David Day. They're running in that second spot. Third will be Jordan Buster there on the bottom. Can anything be had up top there? The 48 gets a tad bit loose. He's down on the bottom side. He keeps it down there. That's the 48 machine of Joseph Weaver. Weaver now dropping to the back there as he got loose. He did not come back up in front. Good save by the number 48 machine, but he lost many positions. The number 30, Corey Carpenter, moves up into that 4th spot. Justin Malello up to 5th in the 53.
Yeah, Justin Malello, he's rebounded nicely back into the top 5. I've been kind of glued up here to the front looking at Cosman. Mr. Excitement, David Day, that 005 currently running second. Jordan Buster, how about the run for the 8 car up in third? But here comes Kevin McAdams with help from Keith Sherman. We know Kevin's got a little bit of damage, but look at that Speed Inc. number 26 machine up through the top shelf. Kevin McAdams may find himself back on top of the leaderboard as they hit turn 1.
Yeah, Kevin McAdams up on the top shelf of the Speedway. He has help, like you said, from the Shermanator, Keith Sherman, and then number 33 machine, a Skittles-sponsored machine, up on the top shelf. He is pushing Kevin McAdams. McAdams does have a little bit of damage coming down the back straightaway, but it looks like he's able to propel out into the lead. Taylor Morgan's right there, the 34 of Isaac Gann there. As we come down into turn number 3, they switch lines there, leaving Taylor Morgan's out to hang there in the 36 machine. They come down in front of the Speed Inc. number 24, Cosman. Looks like Kevin McAdams might be able to lead this one back to the start finish line, Phil.
No, it looks like it may be Kevin McAdams with the lead. I'm just kind of peeking out through the outside lane there, Todd, and another driver we haven't talked a lot about here the last couple of weeks as he's kind of been absent here from the FTF landscape. Certainly not his race car number 25, but how about the run for Randall Coleman tonight? Very solidly, methodically working his way through the field. Randall Coleman's number 25 is sprinkled now up in there into the top 10. 4th car on the outside lane is that black and blue and white number 25. So good run for Randall Coleman. Randall was one of those guys that were right on the cusp of making this championship playoff and had an injury on the basketball court that sidelined him, took him out of the race for the championship. But Randall Coleman making one of those rare appearances here at FTF toward the end of the year, up in the top 10, having a really good run here tonight at Talladega.
Yeah, having a fantastic run is the 25 of Randall Coleman, and it's good to see him up there. An injuries got to be hard there as he was up on the cusp of trying to get into the championship. And Randall Coleman, big basketball player. For all those that don't know that, Randall Coleman does play on the courts pretty good there. And unfortunately, that event took him and sidelined him here from sim racing, and now able to get back out on the track here at Talladega. And good battle going on for the lead, though, Phil, between the 26 of Kevin McAdams, the 36 of Taylor Morgan's. Those guys fighting tooth and nail for that top spot here on lap 77 of 117.
Yeah, they really are doing a great job. Also, Isaac Gann sprinkled right there as well. But yeah, McAdams and Morgan's having a good spirited run for the lead here as this time around 78 laps going to go on the board as the field works its way now through the Tri-Oval off of turn number 4. A couple of cars making some moves on the line there. David Day rolling up the hill. Looks like he may pick up the 34 of Isaac Gann up to the top lane. So definitely some strategy starting to play off here as guys starting to find some strange bedfellows as a lot of cars have been tore up. A lot of teammates out there who usually have their usual dancing partners maybe don't have them now. So you may see some different situations happening here through the end of this race. But Todd, I'm going to bring one more voice into the conversation here. We just saw under this caution flag, we saw the number 37 car of Ryan Araki get really, tore up in that wreck. And Ryan was one of those guys that came in tonight kind of on the edge of having to really, not win to get in, but almost had that kind of scenario placed to him. We'll bring Ryan Araki into the conversation now. Ryan, still here for Full Velocity TV, but first of all, are you okay? And how you feeling after that wreck? I'm sure you got to be a little tad bit dejected after having a really good car.
Yeah, we're bummed out. We came in, knowing how we normally run at the speedways, we really felt like this was a win or at very least top 5 to have any shot to advance. So we were really focused on this race, and Speed Inc. was doing great. I mean, we were drafting great. We were doing a good job. Unfortunately, they wrecked in front of us and kind of killed us. We went into the catch fence. It's a bad deal, but proud of how we ran. Ran up front. Everyone knew we were here, so.
Well, anytime you come to the super speedway and the Speed Inc. team rolls to the pit area, I think everybody kind of knows you're here, but you got Kevin out there with damage out there leading the pack. You got Cosman's number 24 with some damage. You got Justin, who's taken a couple of savage hits. You're behind the wall. What can these guys do as far as team racing now, as you guys maybe have lost a couple of really fast bullets? What can you guys do to maybe help guys like Kevin or like Cosman, maybe get this win here that may push him into the round of 8 on points?
Well, the good thing is this race has had so many cautions. Most of the field has damage. Kevin's is so minor. I think he'll be fine. He's probably, I would say, the best plate racer in the whole series. I mean, he sees the draft lanes really well. He understands how they work. So I think that the 26 to 24 for sure will still be a force. They'll come in to decide who wins the race. The rest of the field, the 34 has been really strong. He's a really good driver, but most of the field is damaged, so I don't think it's going to hurt him too bad.
Well, taking the teammate aspect out of it, now 81 laps of 117 on the board, at least one more pit stop for these guys to make, if this thing is to stay under green. What are your predictions for the rest of this race? What do you think we can expect to see here as not only this, for the end of this one, you think we're going to see more? Are we going to see a green flag pit stop? Or are we going to see this aggressive nature of racing we've seen all night long that has caught, I think is 6 multiple car wrecks that have tore up a whole lot of race cars? What do you predict here for these last 30 laps?
Well, the series is for the fans, FTF for the fans, and that's why they went with this bigger fuel cell, less pit stops, bigger pack. I don't think there's any way they make it to green flag stops. Everybody's pushing harder, and that's been with 50, 60 laps to go. Once we get down to 30, 40, 20 laps to go, people are just going to push that much harder. I'm sure we'll have a couple cautions between now and then, and that'll keep the pack bunched together, which will just lead to more carnage. So, yeah, I don't think we're done wrecking at all.
Well, unfortunately, Ryan, I do agree with you there, and I think we got some more stuff to keep an eye on here as we get down to the later stages, Bud. But as always, a champion here on the racetrack. Great to talk to you there, Bud. I believe you won the last time out. FTF was at a super speedway, so you were on the short list of guys that could potentially come out here and win tonight, especially the Speed Inc. team. Usually almost the favorites would come out, but you got one more week to try to race for survival to advance to that round of 8 at Kansas. What's your outlook for yourself as you head into Kansas next week?
Well, I think our only shot is to bring a Harry Hyde extra long fuel line. We don't bring race running spinning to the 37 car anymore. I'm a little washed up, but we can run top 10, and I figure if we're 10 laps short on fuel, we're gonna clutch it and try to make it. That's our only shot. We'll go that route. That's our only chance to advance. But I'm really proud to advance to the top 12. This is such a competitive league, and to be one of the top 12 drivers in the league, I mean, that means a lot to me. I'm really proud of that, and we'll finish the year out strong. And if we don't advance, I'll be doing whatever I can to help my teammates.
Well, that is a true teammate right there. And yeah, this league, the best of the best. It's got to be an honor to be in that last dozen. Ryan Araki, thanks for a couple of words out there tonight. Hey, your night ended early, but you guys got some team orders and team strategy to play down there. So I'm pretty sure you're going to put that crew chief hat on and help those guys get to a good finish. So thanks for a couple of words, bud. Good luck the rest of the night, and especially good luck to you next week at Kansas. We'll certainly be keeping up with you.
Appreciate it, guys. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up.
All right, we appreciate that. Ryan Araki from the Speed Inc. Team Todd, unfortunately, his night is done. He's behind the wall, but, they got a couple of more bullets out there, the Speed Inc. team does, but Kevin McAdams with Cosman out there. Not sure how Justin's car is after a couple of hits, but those guys know the way to the front. You know who else does? Our point leader, Taylor Morgans, who somehow, some way, every week that 36 finds its way back to the top, the defending series champion. You look at the top of the leaderboard, 85 laps in at Talladega. Taylor Morgans paces the field as they hit turn 1.
All I got to say is, wow, look at Taylor Morgan's go, and he's noted for short tracks, cookie cutters, and now super speedways. Taylor Morgan's leading this event here. Isaac Gann trying to go around him there in that 34 machine, and it looks like he shut the door there as he puts the bumper to Taylor Morgan's down the back straightaway here up on the top shelf of the speedway. These guys just working over. Good run still going for that number 23 of Jonathan Taylor. Got to mention him as having a good run there. It's just fantastic to see some different guys up here towards the top of the field, but unfortunate circumstances have made some of these guys be able to run up top, Phil, and be up in the top 10. There's been plenty of wrecks, plenty of carnage, and a lot of hurt feelings here tonight, but unfortunately that's what happens here at the Super Speedway. Talladega, things happen in the blink of an eye, and can take your championship hopes right away from you.
Yeah, and Ryan Araki was a class act there, knowing full well he probably has to, do something kind of off the cuff to make his way in if he's going to advance next week. He's one of those guys. A lot of these guys at FTF, they're great guys, a lot of great interviews, and I'm looking forward to bringing some of these in-race reporters. And if we get through around the green flag pit stops, this race kind of starts to sort itself out. We'll utilize that feature here this week, but, talking to some of the admins off here behind channel, they're saying, hey, this show's been really great tonight. The racing's been really insane. We appreciate you guys doing this. And, it's really going to be chaotic out there in the pack. So whatever we can do to keep these guys' concentration, onto the racetrack and see what they can do, we're going to let them exactly do that here tonight. But right now, look at that car number 1. Dylan Smith was just going to highlight the great run he's been having all night long. Well, Dylan now finds himself with the race lead, 87 laps in as they work their way down the backstretch.
A good run for Dylan Smith in that number 1 machine. The number 9 of Brandon Lawson right there behind him. He's a championship contender here. And the 24 machine right there directly behind him with Kevin McAdams. So I'm going to say Kevin McAdams right behind Brandon Lawson. The 24 of Cosman right there in that 4th spot, battling it out there with the number 36 of Taylor Morgan's. Now the 9 of Brandon Lawson dips up to the top side right in front of Taylor Morgan's, trying to make a run here for the lead in that number 9 machine. That'll be the first time that he's graced up here in the lead as Brandon Lawson's been up inside the top 5, top 10 all evening long, but having a good run here as we're coming up on lap traffic. This is going to be rather tricky as these guys navigate this lap car, Phil.
Yeah, they absolutely do, and I'm trying to just get the view of who the lap car may be. It looks like it's the 48 car of Joseph Weaver. Joe a little bit off pace there as, look at Weaver sprinkle up to the outside lane. These guys all have to shoot him in a 2-wide formation. This isn't easy to do at full speed. Michael Frisch's car almost washed up the racetrack, as did a 23 of Jonathan Taylor that really stacked up the field. That's now let them start racing up front for the lead. Taylor Morgan's, Dylan Smith, they're up there running. You'll see Jordan Buster's number 8, all those guys in there. Almost a little bit of door checking up there, Todd, racing for that runner-up spot as they work their way down the front stretch now into turn number 1.
Yeah, lap 88 complete. We're going on lap 89 here of 117. It is Dylan Smith, still your current race leader, showing the way here. Kevin McAdams running in second. The 24 Cosman running third. Looks like Brandon Lawson's the run has stopped there up on the top shelf of the speedway. It looks like this 26 sick of being behind Dylan Smith. And it's going to be the number 26 of Kevin McAdams, the 24 Cosman, switching lanes in front of Brandon Lawson. Kevin McAdams now to the lead in that number 26.
Yeah, 26 finds his way back to the top shelf. And, frankly, Kevin McAdams, a former series champion, knows his way around in a super speedway, knows how to find himself in victory lane, knows how to win these big races. And this one, Todd, here at Talladega with 41 cars here that took the green flag, this race certainly feels like it has this big, the playoff atmosphere is definitely here. It's not an elimination night, but it feels like an elimination night. It almost feels like a coronation night of, if you win this race, you go to victory lane. It really feels like you're going to accomplish something here tonight. Kevin McAdams, he has won these big races before. No surprise at all, even with a little bit of damage to see him back to the lead. Teammate Cosman sitting there right there in second, pushing. Brandon Lawson running third. Looks like Dylan Smith, the 1 car. Those guys not content to run out there. Michael Frisch, the 41 as well. Also Nick Gunther's 10 car. Those guys don't want to ride in line. 5th spot on back, all trying to make something happen. 90 laps on the board as they come off of turn 4.
Why would you want to ride in line when you could get up towards the front? That's what I would be thinking right now is I want to get up there. Look at the 23 way down to the bottom. That is Jonathan Taylor trying to make something happen. And like you said, it's starting to gather up. It's starting to go 3 wide here, Phil, and it's starting to get towards the end of this race. These guys are already thinking it's go time here. We still got 27 laps to go here, and these guys just trying to get to the front, trying to lead the laps. You want to position yourself, Phil. You know another one's going to happen. It's got to happen. You know, they're running so close. You just want to be up in front of what's going to happen, and that's what some of these guys are shifting for. As a contact made, and we got cars around in turn number 3.
Oh, man, this one happening outside of the top 10. Contact there going to definitely put us under the caution flag now. Lap number 91, and this one may set the stage for what could be the final pit stop of the night, as it looks like fuel window tonight around 35 to 38 laps. So 92 on the board. Math says this one's got about 25 laps remaining. So, yeah, this for sure is going to, be their last pit stop of the night here under green flag conditions. But it's now going to allow these guys to all come to pit road. Ryan Naraki was right. I agreed. I didn't think we were done wrecking yet. And a wreck there in turn number 3 was trying to kind of get the glimpse of what happened. I know, Todd, you caught it on the live feed, and I'm just trying to go back and watch it. These guys all watching on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitch TV. A really great crowd we've had out there all night long. But I'm going to give you the floor here for the 7th time tonight. Another multiple car incident at Talladega. Todd Stanton, what happened here once again to put us under the caution flag?
Like I said, Phil, it's a bad time to be a 5 involved again. Cars with 5, it just seems like things are involved. And he may not have been part of the spinning carnage, but he was still, always in the picture. As it looks like a little bit of checkup going on here, and it may have happened in front of maybe even the 30. David Day gets out of line. The 76 tries to follow suit there. Noah Carmichael tries to follow David Day out of line. Just seems like he got a little bit of a bumper grab from the 71 of Wetz. Goes around hard into the 33 machine. The Shermanator, unfortunately, at the wrong place at the wrong time. 11 hard into the outside wall. Randall Coleman, who you talked about, he tried to escape that one. Sneaky didn't happen there for the 25, and fortunately got a lick on that one. For the 25, the 2 around. Man, tough go for some of these guys once again. But it all started around Noah Carmichael in that 76 machine. It looks like he maybe bumper grabbed the number 5 of David Day there in front of him, as Day was trying to stay off the guy in front of him, and Noah Carmichael just grabbed his bumper, and unfortunately it propelled him down there to slow him up just enough where the Wetz machine got into the back of him.
And if you're Chris Wetz there, Todd, you really have, you've got no time to react, as you're going out there, well over 190 plus miles per hour. You're in a draft. You're within the, just inches, not even inches, centimeters, millimeters of the guy in front of you. There's just no time to react. Nothing you can do. And, tough break there for Chris Wetz, another guy racing for a championship. Any damage to the back of that, or the front of that race car, the back of the race car looks like you got some damage as well. So, Tough break for Chris Wetz. He's one of those guys, as we said all night long, running for a championship, can't afford a bad finish. And now late in the going here with under 30 laps to go here, he's going to have to restart, right around that 30th position with some damage to the race car, and going to have to really rebound from here, because by the time we get back to green flag racing, we're looking at about a 21 to 22 lap shootout. So if this hasn't been intense enough yet tonight at FTF, it's about to go to a whole nother level that I'm not even sure any of us may be comfortable with. And we'll have to see what happens. I think if the intensity level can pick up any more, it's about to boil to an all-time high, and it's going to ratchet up in a big way.
Yeah, definitely not sure. It's one of them racing deals. Unfortunately, it was a chain reaction, and I would almost call it a super speedway deal. It's just you had no time to react for any of those cars that were involved in that one. So unfortunately, some more torn up cars here, more bent dreams here at Talladega, and hopefully that's not going to be the way of the land. But I do believe we'll have another yellow flag. These guys are racing hard, and it's just a product of super speedway racing. When you got pack racing, Phil, that you're just going to have big wrecks. It's just all about it. And unfortunately, these guys trying to pick up a win with FTF, it's difficult to win at FTF. But some of these guys think the equalizer here is Talladega, and able to maybe pick up their first win at FTF. That's tough. never been inside. I've never actually got a chance to race in there, Phil. But you're able to race with these FTF guys. It's extremely hard, and these are top-notch drivers each and every week. Not taking it from anybody else's leagues. Everybody else's leagues have top-notch drivers in them too, and each league you go to, you find your top-notch drivers. But these guys seem to be sprinkled through the top 12 or even the top 20. It's just so difficult to pass these guys. They've been around the game for a long, long time.
Yeah, they really have. And, I have all the respect in the world for every league that goes out there, every sim racer that goes out there and makes laps in a league. It's not easy to do. Only the best of the best can do it at a high level. And these guys at FTF, there's so many of them that come out here. The competition level is so high. They race hard for every inch of the racetrack they can get. And it just really, when you get to a place like Talladega, it really brings out, the excitement level, the competition level, and the sheer spirit of what, a really top-notch league looks like. The only problem is out here you get 40 of really competitive race cars, guys racing for every inch of real estate, and, things are going to happen. Just like you saw right there, really, Noah did nothing wrong. The 5-car of David, they did nothing wrong. Chris Wetz did nothing wrong. It's just a product of the racing, and, it makes it a little bit difficult for the drivers out there is you really – what it does allows you to take a drink, but you really have a tough time getting in a rhythm. It's tough for us to get in a rhythm because we've had to talk under a lot of caution flags here tonight. We've showed a whole lot of carnage and chaos, and we can report now a couple more cars have been gathered up here. The 64 of Tyler Head had a really good run early. Well, an engine is expired on that car after this caution flag, so looks like Tyler's night is going to be done. A guy who on the edge of trying to race his way into the round of 8 next week, well, he's going to finish up 33rd, so you got to think he's going to be a little bit on edge. We talked to Ryan Araki. We've talked to Brian McCurry. Those are guys all racing for a championship. If their nights are end early, you can talk about guys like, Justin Malello, who's had an up-and-down night. Guys like Kevin McAdams has had a topsy-turvy night. Chris Wetz we've documented. Then you get guys who have had a quiet night, the Jordan Busters of the world. Taylor Morgans has had a pretty good night. Brandon Lawson's number 9. Kyle Riley's 43. Cosman of the 24 has been up near the far all night. Those are guys, if they can get to this thing unscathed, a good points night, that may be just enough to make them go to Kansas next week. But a really good buffer, it gives these guys time to relax. So it really shows the nature of what Talladega can do as far as turning your whole season. You run for a championship, but the whole race the whole season you put together to this point, 31 races, it could just kind of throw all the effort you put in out the window. And to talk about my experience here as a driver at FTF, Todd, I learned right away through the first 5 races of the year, I am not cut out to do this at this high level. These guys are the best of the best, and I'm going to do what I do here is cover all the action the best way we can do fit, as the two of us do here with Full Velocity TV. And we got to say thank you to all those guys out there watching Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch TV. You guys have been fantastic all night long. Saddle yourselves in because we're about to see a dandy here. Looks like about a 20 to 21 lap shootout to bring this thing to conclusion. The question I have now there, Todd, let's go to the prediction business here. Who is it going to be to go to victory lane tonight at FTF?
Man, I'm sorry for anybody I do pick out here. It's prediction time, and just trying to gather through who I think's going to come home with a win. And man, there's been a lot of good cars here, and I know everybody's got a favorite out there on YouTube, and Twitch, and even Facebook. We'll monitor those picks. Go ahead and pick away and give us your thoughts on who's going to win this race tonight. It's been a difficult one, and I'm going to go. Man, I'm going to go with a dark horse. And a guy that's not in the championship, and he's been running really good all night, Phil. And it's Jonathan Taylor in that number 23. So I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor to pick up the win tonight.
I'm going to go you go off the grid with a guy off the championship radar. Well, I'm going to go with a guy in the championship radar, a guy we saw up in the air. You think that car like that would never be competitive, but he's out there. He's running in the top 5. I'm going to go with the Sunoco Chevrolet, the 30 of Corey Carpenter, who's going to restart, it looks like, in the 5th spot. I think somehow through all the carnage of the night, that 30 car ends up a victory lane. So that's the picks from us. You guys out there in YouTube chat, Facebook Live, Twitch TV, who's it going to be as we get ready for a restart? Green flag going to go back in the air.
Green flag is indeed back in the air. We're racing. Look at Brandon Lawson up through the gearbox in that number 9 machine. He gets a good start. Is Isaac Gann going to drop down below? Yep, indeed he's going to. Same way with Jordan Buster. So those guys leave the top shelf for the Speedway to get down to the bottom here to get up to speed a little bit quicker here. 26 looks like to make a little bit of a run on Jordan Buster. Buster got a little bit out of line here. Still trying to get up to full speed as they enter the back straightaway here. See what kind of run the top shelf of the Speedway is going to have here with the number 75 leading the top shelf. That is Brandon Hawken. He's got the 36 of Taylor Morgan's right behind him. We haven't talked much about Brandon Hawken though, Phil. He was inside the top 5, but right now your current race leader, the number 9 of Brandon Lawson, Isaac Gann, right there for 2.
Yeah, I like that combination up front. You get Brandon and Isaac up there, maybe tough. Jordan Buster's 8 car having a good run. How about the rebound for Kevin McAdams, the 26 car currently running 4th, and you look back to that 5th place running car as they hit the start-finish line, 97 laps, so 20 laps to go. Brandon Hawkins, number 75. Corey Cooper, now that number 30. He's made his way to the top 5. Great run for Brandon Hawkins. Then talk a lot about him tonight. New number out there tonight, the 75. Brandon is a guy, you know, we see him win all over the place. I seen him win, you know, 3 Super Speedway races over the course of a week, a couple of weeks ago. So he's a guy that can find it. But we talk about trying to build up these really good finishes, Todd. And the story here at FTF tonight is there's been the amount of caution flags, the amount of tore-up race cars, and once again, for the 8th time tonight, 97 laps on the board. We're going to go once again back under the caution flag, and I have no idea where this one even may have transpired from. None of you sure if you got it on the live feed, but yeah, this one looks like maybe the 53 of Malello involved. Not exactly sure where this one may have come, but I think Justin's car got a piece of this one. Not sure if he was the cause, but definitely involved as looks like one car, yeah, but definitely around in the middle of the pack on the back stretch. And whatever reason, Todd, you talk about these high speeds going straight. Whatever reason, we just cannot get in a straight line. We can't race in a straight line at a high-speed super speedway. It's definitely, you know, something weird. It's been happening for years, not only for us on the broadcast, for real-life NASCAR professional drivers. Whatever reason, we all wreck going straight. I've never understood that theory.
I'm not positive of what's going on here, but it looks like Justin Malello came up off the bottom here, and man, maybe the 76 came down too. It's just one of the products of racing deal. It's Noah Carmichael involved, and I almost think if I'm looking here, Noah did come down the track just a tad bit more than maybe Justin Malello came up the track, but they made contact nevertheless. Up into the 2 machine, and around they go. Looks like the 2 rode the wall just a little bit. 76, 360, probably 780 or whatever you want to call it there. 76 around. Does not look like anybody else worse for the wear there, Phil. So, you know, the 76 looks like he came down the track and just barely tapped the 53 of Justin Malello. But Malello was also coming up. So, man, to be an admin, it's tough to make the call. I'm not going to make no call. But these guys racing real hard. And, you know, Malello, he is actually in the championship hunt. So he's trying to make his way up towards the front with a heavily damaged car already.
Yep, certainly is indeed. A heavily damaged car indeed, and I don't think that car needed another hit, but once again, working laps under the caution flag, and, you know, once again, we'll try to find a name, the conversation we can bring in, and maybe, you know, talk the ear off here, and I'm going to see if I can't track down Kyle Riley somewhere in this big team speak through all the team channels, all the communication. Let's see if we can't track down Kyle Riley, whatever channel he may be in. I'm scrolling all the way down to, it looks like the very bottom of where I'm going to find him. Kyle Riley is way down there, so we'll drag him out of the True North room. We'll bring him up to the conversation, and he was one of the first guys. We talked about being an in-race reporter under Green. Well, I definitely had that name out there. We've watched the 43 car all night long, and now we bring Kyle Riley into the conversation. Kyle Riley, Phil LaCassa, Full Velocity TV man. Tell us about that wild race we're seeing out there. You're sitting there P11, but you still got a good bullet under you. What do you think we're going to see through these closing laps?
Oh, man, we're going to see exactly what we've been seeing. It's been crazy. I've avoided about 6 wrecks, and somehow I have no damage still. But that might change. We're getting down to it here. It's only 19 to go. It's going to be 18 on the restart. And there's some questionable people up front, people that aren't usually there. And we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it goes well, but it might not.
Well, buddy, you're also racing in, either round of 12, trying to advance your way to the round of 8. Is the thinking here now survival through the end of this race, is getting a car home in one piece with a good finish, or is there any thoughts at all of trying to make your way to the front and maybe win this thing and punching that automatic ticket next week in Kansas?
Oh man, I spent the whole first half of the race just trying to survive, but a lot of the other playoff drivers have had some trouble today. So I think now the motive is just win the race. And if that can't happen, just bring it home.
I love it, Kyle. I love the thinking there, bud. Great topic of conversation there. I know you guys getting ready for the restart, so I've told these guys all night long, I'm not going to bug. I'm going to restart. You guys got pack racing to do, but thanks for a couple of words there, bud. Give it a great finish. We'll talk again on the post-race show, but nonetheless, we'll definitely keep up, bud. Great talk.
Sure thing, man.
All right, Kyle Riley will put him back down to the True North room, get these guys set, Todd. They're getting ready to go back green flag racing, and we got a shootout from here. Looked like about a 17, 18 lap shootout to settle at Talladega. This is going to be fun. Are you ready for the ride?
Oh, I'm more than ready for the ride, and I'm sure some of these guys are going to ride a little bit further than they want to ride here this evening, and they already have, some of them. As we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing, we're going to enter that Monster Energy ultraviolet restart zone, just waiting to enter that. That's where the green flag will fly. That's where the leader restarts here. It's Brandon Lawson, Isaac Gann, Jordan Buster, Brandon Hawkin, Kevin McAdams. That's your top 5 green flags in the air. Loud pedal is down here as they cross the start finish line. Lap and a half to get up the full song. As we've seen again, Brandon Lawson out to another good start in that number 9 machine. This time looks like Isaac Gann might not be able to pull down to the bottom. Looks like the 9 chooses to go up top there with Isaac Gann. Jordan Buster down on the bottom with the number 26 machine of Kevin McAdams. So that's going to be a good run as we go down the back straightaway. These guys starting to get up to max speed.
And I thought Jordan Buster may have the run to get up to the race lead, but he's getting freight train now on both sides as Brandon Hawk and Corey Carpenter make quick work up high. Here comes Kevin McAdams and Taylor Morgan's on the low side. So what looked like a late race push for Jordan Buster to make to the race lead, he's going to free fall now all the way back to the back part of the top 10, stuck in that sucker hole in the middle of that 3-wide scenario. Jordan Buster for the 3rd spot now all the way back to outside the top 10, still 3 wide as they head toward turn 1.
Corey Carpenter making some strong moves in that number 30 machine, able to get down to the bottom side once again as he came from the top to the bottom, squeezed in front of the 26 of Kevin McAdams. Now he runs in that 3rd spot to 75 of Brandon Hawkins, stuck in that sucker hole as he goes backwards. Top side does not seem to get anything going as of right now, but these guys fighting tooth and nail. Looks like the one a little bit out of shape there. Maybe a bump draft gone wrong for Dylan Smith in that number 1 machine, but watching these guys come down into turn number 3, and these guys are not giving each other much room out there. The top 5 right now starting to break away, maybe top 6, Phil, as the top group tries to get going here.
Yeah, it does, and it's Nick Gunther's number 10 car. That first one going to try to peek on a line to try to make his room up high, and now car up ahead of him. That's Kyle Riley's 43 car. Kyle's going to make that run up to the top shelf, try to get alongside that Motorcraft, quick lube Ford for Dylan Smith. They're going to be side-by-side racing. That's for the 6th spot. Give that advantage now to the 43 there with some help from Nick Gunther. Looks like Jonathan Taylor's 23 car as well as their good 3-car tandem draft, making things happen off the backstretch.
Definitely making things happen down the back straightaway here in the turn number 3. Kyle Riley up on the top shelf of the speedway here, running in about the 4th position. He's battling with Kevin McAdams. He's going to try to make something happen here tonight. Like you said, no damage on that 43 machine. It may change here. He's making one whale of a run on the top shelf. Now up to Corey Carpenter here down the front straightaway here into the tri-oval as they flash by that start finish line once again. We are on lap 103 of 117.
About 15 laps to go here at FTF, the Naur Experiment 500K, 117 laps, the adventure here tonight for our friends over at FTF Racing, the 2018 Verizon Cup Series playoffs. This is race number 5 of the 10 playoffs, race number 2 of the 3 that make up this round of 12. Elimination night next week at the Kansas Speedway, but right now, who's going to be eliminated for the chance to win this race? Kyle Riley making a great move through the middle. Brandon Lawson's number 9 going to throw the block. Isaac Gann is there. Corey Carpenter is in there. Nick Gunther's number 10 on the high side trying to make things happen. Still 3 wide racing for that 5th spot on back off of turn 4.
Fantastic racing going on now throughout the field here. 3 wide racing for the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th position here. As these guys really battling it out here. That 3rd line starting to get some headway up top, being led by the number 10 of Nick Gunther. Gunther trying to make some moves up there. Brandon Lawson, meanwhile, leading the middle groove here with Kyle Riley right there in tow. The 34 of Isaac Gann way down on the bottom there. That's what Corey Carpenter and that number 30 machine side by side battling 3 wide down the back straightaway. It's still the number 9 of pushing out front. That is Brandon Lawson in that number 9 machine. But, man, no advantage coming down here into turn number 3. And off of turn number 4, it's still 3 wide for the lead.
Nick Gunther with that number 10 car with a great push from Brandon Hawken, the 39 of Arnold Columbia, that Ford EcoBoost number 39. They are 3 wide for about 5 rows deep off of turn 4. Look at the action you got there. The picture just tells the story of what the late stages of this race is going to be like. Brandon Lawson in the middle, Isaac Ann down low, but last time around it was Nick Gunther in the 10. He's up in the front. He's got great pushers there. Brandon Hawken trying to make it happen, trying to get all the momentum up there, Todd. That top shelf, we talked about it all night. I thought that was going to be the lane that wins this race. Right now it's advantage 10 car Nick Gunther. He leads the field as they head toward turn 3.
Yeah, Nick Gunther high, wide, and handsome right now, leading the top group, and that number 10 machine able to pull up in front of the number 9 of Brandon Lawson. Lawson, the second lane that's on the bottom, I should say the second lane for the number 9 machine, way down on the bottom side for Brandon Lawson. Looks like Kyle Riley's run has been dyed here for the number 43 machine, so he's going to have to figure out something else to try to make that work, but he's sticking to that middle group. He wants to get back up here and challenge, but Nick Gunther right now is a man on the mission in the number 10 machine. He's able to still lead the charge here through 1 and off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. He has that number 75 of Brandon Hawken breathing right down his neck down the back straightaway. Can't forget Arnold Columbia, that number 39 machine. He's also up top. Now Kyle Riley switches from the middle. He's up top in that 43 machine.
And it shows you how quick 3 lines will evaporate into 2 because they kind of see, you know, the outside lane making the advantage, the middle lane or the bottom lane trying to float up to the middle, trying to make that momentum, take that runaway. But that's allowed Nick Gunther up front to maybe extend the lead. Brandon Hawken is there, and you can see it right there, Todd, is that bottom lane trying to shift up to the middle. You can see the side shaft not working the way Brandon Lawson hoped it would because he's losing that spot now to Kyle Riley. Here comes Jonathan Taylor, who's 23. He may be freight trained all the way back to about 7th or 8th by the time this thing cycles out. 9 car going to fight back there 2 wide between the 9 and the 43 as they come off turn 2.
Contact made. Corey Carpenter around the number 30 machine. He's going to hit the inside wall. Don't know if that's going to bring out a yellow flag there. So it looked like somebody was warping back and forth. Indeed, it's going to bring out a yellow flag. These guys going to be relegated here. About 3 cars involved in that one. I'm going to go back to work there, Phil. But, man, that was just starting to heat up. We are on lap 107 to 117. And, man, these guys have put on one whale of a show. And now another yellow flag. I'm going to group these guys back up. We don't know who's going to win, but I know Corey Carpenter, unfortunately, down into the inside wall hard. Phil, your pick here to win tonight.
Yeah, and that Sunoco Chevrolet, well, it may be a little low on fumes now. Was that 30? Had all the air taken out of that balloon, and yeah, it looked like that. Not sure if that was side-to-side warp right there. It might have been the 48 of Joseph Weaver that may have just kind of bounced around. Not quite sure. Didn't get the good look on it. Going back and watching through what the live feed looks like here as I glance off to my right and see us on about a 15 to 20 second delay. So this almost allows me to go back and take a look at it. But yeah, I think that may have been just going back through my replay and looking here. Looks like that may be a case of the warp. And it's unfortunate, Todd. You get pack racing like that. Somebody just has that little connection issue. And it unfortunately, we've seen a couple of times here tonight. It can tear up a lot of race cars. And, you know, unfortunately, it looks like this one may have happened right at the tail end. The 48 car getting a little bit out of shape into the side of the 30. And what looked like it was going to be a really good rebound night for both drivers, well, may have just once again turned upside down as we're now under 10 laps to go and once again under the caution flag.
Like you said, once again under the caution flag, and here's what happened. You can just see it here. We're going to do real slow just to show you. The 48 of Weaver, man, he's weaving. He's weaving in and out there with warp, unfortunately, at the wrong time here. He collects with a 26 and a 30. 26, Kevin McAdams, hard. And Corey Carpenter, man, that inside wall right there, as you watch these guys, they hit that inside wall a ton. And Corey Carpenter went flying through the air through the catch fence that caught the tail end of his car, and he skated down through. And Kevin McAdams, slow barrel roll for McAdams. 2 championship contenders yet again harmed for the number 30 and the 26. A tough break for those guys. And, man, the 30 is short now. As Corey Carpenter is now a subcompact car for that number 30 machine. It looks like, I don't know, I'm going to call it a Chevette now. It was a Chevy, now it's a Chevette. So you might have to shove it there, Phil, in that number 30 machine.
Yeah, I think the 30 car might be a Chevelle now, as you said. Corey Carr is definitely a little Chevette. not Chevelle, Chevette. Thank you for the correction there off air. Is sometimes, Todd, I wish that you and I could whisper back and forth off air when we're, the other one is talking, but this is like a one-way game. You get the controls, you get the director headset, and you get to say all this crap to me. The great news is tonight, Todd Stanton has not started singing in my ear, which I always appreciate as we get down now to under 10 laps to go, and we'll hopefully bring this one to a conclusion. Hopefully I didn't just jinx that right now, Todd, but I'm going to keep you busy down there. We got in a prediction game. You made your bold prediction of, who again? Who'd you pick once again? Remind me. I've forgotten.
Number 23 of Jonathan Taylor was my pick.
That's right. I was trying to go back to the field and look, and it's funny. I was of a 23 car, and I completely, looking up and down the order. You did pick the 23, and I took the 30. Well, right now you're looking a whole lot better than I do. You make me look a whole lot better than I am. You do it week after week, night after night on Full Velocity TV. I really hope you guys have enjoyed the show. It's been a long one. We're 2+ hours into the event now, under 10 laps remaining here at Talladega. Business about to pick up there again as I see all the guys out there from Fast have checked in on our YouTube live page. It's good to see Colby Martin out there. I see Ryan Pace is clocked in. Nick Baker's out there. David Day. Matty Geist still out there. David Schildhouse, Justin Malello. Those guys have all posted out there in the YouTube chat. Haven't been able to monitor Facebook as closely as I'd like to, or Twitch, because there's too much going on as I click on and off the racetrack trying to talk to some of these drivers. But we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing, Todd. What do you think? We go back to green, Nick Gunther, Brandon Hawken, Arnold Columbia, Cosman, Randall Coleman, your Fast Five, Kyle Riley, Brandon Lawson, Jonathan Taylor, Isaac Ann, and Taylor Morgan. They're going to be our top 10 as we get ready to head back to the restart. Blocking, juking, jiving, every kind of move you can make. Well, the go time is here with 110 of 117 laps on the board, and Todd gave a really good call there. And as he was shouting to me off channel communication, I don't think Todd ever took the mute button off there. So way to go, Todd. One job. Stop talking crap to me off air. That's what you get. You pay. We're back to green flag racing. Nick Gunther trying to throw the block. Brandon Hawken is there. Right there in second. Arnold Columbia, Brandon Lawson is there. Kyle Riley is there. Truly anybody's race. Who's it going to be? 111 laps on the board as they work their way off of turn 2.
Yeah, that's what I get for talking crap to you off air there, Phil, is watching these guys. Nick Gunther leading the charge down the back straightaway here. 75 of Brandon Hawken gets up in front of Arnold Columbia here. He's going to make a run on the top shelf of the speedway. Now Nick Gunther goes down to the bottom. He's in front of Cosman in that number 24 machine. We're not done wrecking. We have guys up in the wall there, the 47 up in the wall. He's able to keep it going there. Oh, man, the 47 dropping through the field here. Zach Schultz in the 47 machine, that CXX sponsor machine, up into the safer barrier, but he was able to keep it the right way. No yellow flag. We're still clean and green here. Lap 111 of 117 complete.
Well, ask him how soft that wall is now, because that may have just, eliminated what could have been a potentially good run for the unfortunate driver there, the 47, Zachary Stoltz. But back up to the front of this thing. Who's it going to be? It's just too close to call up front. Brandon Hawken, he's going to lead last time around. Nick Gunther right there second. Arnold Columbia there third. Cosman is there. You see these guys trying to form up in a third line formation down to the low side. Brandon Lawson trying to do all he can to run back up there. Michael Frisch, the 41, is up there. David Schildhouse in that middle lane. Also looks like, believe that's the 19 car of Zach Buchanan. Have not called Zach's name all night long. He finds his way up to the front of these things one at the end here at Talladega. Who's it going to be at the line this time at 1:13 on the board? Nick Gunther once again going to reassume the lead as they hit turn 1.
Oh, contact made, and we're around. Big wreck. The 36 of Taylor Morgan's involved. And we are wrecking once again. Going to bring out another yellow flag here. And like you said, Phil, we're not done wrecking yet. And Taylor Morgan's involved in that one. And he had hard contact with the outside wall in turn number 2.
All right, yeah, I was waiting for race control. I usually get the whisper out right away or a message or see something in the race chat that says caution flag on the speedway. But they are racing back here with 10 to go. But this is not going to be the race. These guys will go at least 1 to 2 laps past the scheduled distance, try to force a little bit of overtime. But as they get back to the line, 3 wide to the stripe here. Who is it going to be at the line? Give it to Cosman at the line. He's going to win the race back to caution over Nick Gunther, Brandon Lawson, Dylan Smith, and Brandon Hawken going to be your current top 5. Isaac Gann 6th, Zach Buchanan 7th, Arnold Columbia 8th, Mike Fallon up to 9th, Michael Frisch 10th. 11th, we find Jonathan Taylor, Kyle Riley 12th, Randall Coleman 13th, Jessica Shelton 14th, and Chris Emery's number 2. Haven't talked a lot about Chris all night. He is currently running 15th. Noah Carmichael is 16th. 17th is Justin Malello. 18th, Jake Poulin. Mikey Morona is 19th. And Joseph Weaver's 48 car currently running 20th. Kevin McAdams is deep in the field, though 26th. He is 21st. Steve Rada is 22nd. Chris Wett's 23rd. Andrew Schwartz is 24th. And Jordan Buster deep in the field, currently running in that 25th position. 26th, we find Zachary Stoltz. Taylor Morgan's will be scored 27th. 28th, David Schildhouse. Corey Carpenter, 29th. And 30th, last car on the racetrack, will be the Keith Sherman Machine Carver, 33. All the rest of the field, they're all behind the wall. Their nights are done, including Sonny Tallman, David Day, Tyler Head, Ryan Naraki, Brian Mercurio, Doug Lockrow, Blake McCandless, Phil Parker, Joe Allen, and Jeff Goodpaster. 40 drivers took the green flag here tonight. We're down to 30 left on the racetrack. They're all in the lead lap there, Todd. 1 to go on the field coming. So let's dive down there and see what happens. Show us our full velocity TV replay.
Yep, another product of Super Speedway Racing here at its finest, and contact made here. And the 23 got a little bit out of shape. 36 Taylor Morgan's had nowhere to go. Contact made at 53. Got David Schildhouse, Jordan Buster. Looks like Justin Malello, nowhere for the wear. Got 3 of the cars there, Phil. Taylor Morgan's, and man, spinning around like a top. David Schildhouse got to be dizzy out there in that number 62 machine as he just kept going around and around and around. And able to do that, and here comes the 47 along, and he pounds the wall here. He was trying to get slowed up here. Man, unfortunate event there for the 36 of Taylor Morgan's. It looks like just the product of Super Speedway Racing. It just, those guys are so close.
Yep, it's so close, and now we're so close to the end of this thing, and you gotta love what's happening up there now. Cosman's going to lead the field back to green. Nick Gunther, Brandon Lawson, Dylan Smith. Who's it going to be up here in these first couple of rows? Can this race be won from outside the top 5 there, Todd? We have seen great racing action. We've seen a lot of carnage here tonight. We've seen a lot of great racing up front. Are we going to see any late race contact amongst the lead that may give somebody the win that's currently outside the equation? A guy like Zach Buchanan, a guy like Michael Frisch. How about a guy like Mike Fallon up in the top 10? We haven't talked a lot about tonight. Is anything possible here when we get down to what looks to be about a green-white checker scenario to settle it here at Talladega tonight?
Man, it's going to be rather interesting to see what's going to happen. And green-white checkered, you could, like you said, we have a little bit of overtime. We could get that to that overtime threshold as these guys are able to race past there to the point of no return here at Talladega. These guys are restacked and repacked. It's going to be Cosman, Nick Gunther, Brandon Lawson, Dylan Smith, Brandon Hawken, Isaac Gann, Zach Buchanan, Arnold Columbia, Michael Frisch, and Mike Fallon there in that number 55 machine. So we'll see what's going to happen. These guys getting ready to go back to green flag racing, and man, I should have sung Baby Shark to you, Phil, as things have been interesting here, and you've kept me quite busy, so I can't sing to you in your ear. So we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here. These guys getting ready to go to the Monster Energy Ultraviolet Restart Zone. Green flag is in the air. Cosman up through the gearbox, and now let's see what Nick Gunther has for these guys. Looks like Brandon Lawson right there behind Cosman in that number 24 machine, and you know he wants to win also. He wants to punch his ticket into the round of 8. So these guys are going to be slicing and dicing their way up through here, Phil, as they get up to full speed.
Yeah, they really are. And the first car kicked on a line was a 34 of Isaac in, but looks like stuff happening maybe down the backstretch as a couple cars got shot on a line. Was looking for the 19 car of Zach Buchanan, but they were wrecked back there. The 19 involved, a couple more cars involved, and I'm not sure this may be the race back further. We are racing back the entire 2 laps to point of no return, so there is no caution flag for the wreck. So these guys are racing back from here, FTF, the point of no return. We've seen it here a billion times before. White flag at the line one more time around the speedway. Nick Gunther, Auto Columbia, they're going to lead Cosman here side by side to turn 1 for the final time.
Side by side to turn 1, Cosman up into the wall. The number 39 machine, Nick Gunther, out to the front here. And that number 10 machine, he was propelled out front, but that's not where he wants to be. He is a sitting duck with these guys running right directly behind him. He's going to have to throw huge blocks down the back straightaway here into turn number 3. Here comes Cosman in the 24, blocked by Nick Gunther. Cosman down on the apron, contact made, and the 10 of Gunther goes around. Cosman, the 23 involved. Cosman looks like he's going to go on to win this one. And that number 24 is we got wrecking out of turns 3 and 4, but Cosman going to take down the victory. And that number 24 with no one else in sight.
No, everybody kind of wrecked behind him. Nick Gunther tried to make the move, and now the caution flag, the yellow flag, or the checkered flag go on the speedway. Cosman's going to pull down the win. Mikey Marotta, the 65, going to run off in the second spot. Jake Pullen's going to end up third. Joseph Weaver fourth, and Justin Malello going to end up with a top 5. 6 to 10 is going to beat Steve Rada. Andrew Swartz, Taylor Morgans, Brandon Lawson, and Kyle Riley unofficially going to end up in the top 10. There was going to be a lot to go back and look at there, Todd. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to go back and show the full-scale replay, but what I saw on the live screen, this is a wild finish, and Cosman's somehow going to take down the win with that evasive move. But how about the finish for Mikey Marotta's number 65, Jake Pullen's 01? They're going to end up second and third from basically out of nowhere.
Yeah, they were definitely out of nowhere there, Phil. Unfortunately, for the 24, he wins the race here tonight. Cosman able to punch his ticket into the next round. I'm sure he's going to be one happy driver here. I know a little bit of contact was made there as the 10 was trying to block. That was Nick Gunther. He was trying to come down the track and gave no room to the 24, and that's just the product of super speedway racing, and he was able to save it looked like, and then all of a sudden more contact made behind him. Like you said, he had it won through the tri-oval there in that number 24 machine. Nobody was around him, so he took down the win here. Going to see him do some burnouts down on the front straightaway, I do believe, as Cosman taking down the win on a full velocity TV. The Naur Experiment 500K at Talladega is won by the number 24 of Cosman.
Yeah, Cosman's going to unofficially take down the win. These guys at FTF, as they always do, Todd, are going to go back and look through the replay, make sure these standings are official, as you know, every point is so critical here. The only thing we know for sure, as I've been told, take Jake Pullen up into the interview room, and we'll make sure he's clear. They'll make sure Mikey Marotta is clear, and they'll make sure Cosman is clear. You'll greet somebody down there in victory lane. Well, first of all, we're going to bring Jake Pullen into the conversation here. The 01 car, a guy who was running, up to the last week in there for the mix of the championship scenario, unfortunately was unable to make the race here as he was attending the Roval at the Charlotte Motor Speedway race in person. So he gave up his ability to run for the championship. But Jake, you bring home a top 3 run here tonight unofficially. Golly, tell us about that last lap. That was wild.
Yeah, well, I guess it's better to be lucky than good sometimes. I was just trying to stay out of trouble all night, really. I know we were right up there for the owner's points, so I just wanted to try to bring home a good finish.
Well, you did just that, Jake. And, I think all the way back to, at Daytona, all the way back in February, I believe it was you that, was up in victory lane or contending for a win late in the race. How much do you enjoy these super speedways anytime you come out? The racing here at FTF is always a white-knuckle, tough grit kind of atmosphere, but you get 40 of these guys out there tonight. It's got to be wild and chaotic, but it's also going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I won't lie. It's definitely nerve-wracking and scary at times.
Well, Jake, it certainly was that, and it's really cool to see a guy virtually just come out of nowhere in these closing laps and end up on the podium. And unofficially, right now, we call you third. That even may change from here up to that runner-up spot. But as we always do here live on Full Velocity TV, I'm going to give you the mic one last time. The floor is all yours. Thank whoever you'd like to thank. Friends, family, sponsors who've been out there live tonight on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch TV. So we got a big audience out there. Say hello to all of them now, and thank whoever you'd like to thank out there.
Thank you. I'd just like to thank the whole team, True North Motorsports, that worked pretty well together tonight. Didn't end up getting the win, I don't think, but we put a good run in. I want to thank Michael Frisch for running the 0-1 car for some races this year, and I believe that with this run, that should put us in the lead of the Owners' Championship. So still in the hunt for that, even though we missed out on the Drivers' Championship chase.
Well, that's certainly cool there indeed. As a Michael, when the time he was in the L1, Jake, he really did that car well, put some really solid runs in. So good luck the rest of us here as far as chasing down the Owners' Championship. And once again, congratulations, but unofficially at least no worse than third right now. So awesome job by you. The way to keep the fenders clean and bring home what was a very chaotic night up on the top three. Congratulations to all of us.
Thank you.
All right, Jake Poulin going to finish up in the third spot here tonight, and we're going to run down here, and we're going to try to see if we can't catch up with Mikey Marotta, who's unofficially right now finishing up in the second spot. All right, well, we'll bring Mikey up here, and I know he's probably going to be on eggshells down here as the end of this race is under review. This may, include that race up for the front, the contact that happened. But Mikey Marotta, buddy, up there unofficial right now, second, and even potentially a win at Talladega at FTF. First of all, tell us about that finish on the closing laps and what you've seen out the windshield.
A whole lot of madness. I got a little early in the race. I got plowed and I wasn't entirely up to speed. I kind of realized once I got up to the high line, I could really maintain. So I could just try to stay up there as long as I could towards the end of the race, and then just avoided a couple wrecks at the end, and then, right place, right time, I guess.
Right place, right time. They always say it's sometimes better to be lucky than good, Mikey. You did exactly that here tonight. You said this one may eventually fall into your lap. What would a win at FTF mean? Would this potentially be the biggest win of your career?
I think so.
That's cool. I hope this may fall the right way for you. If not, bud, you got to be proud of what you said. You said the car was tore up. You had a little damage. You maintained on the outside, and all the chaos and the carnage that happens on the last lap. You unofficially right now, currently second. Regardless, you're going to be proud of that run here tonight.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, Mikey. Well, what we got you up here on Full Velocity TV, it is official now. You are going to finish second. Cosman has been scored the winner. So that's disappointing there for you and certain. But I know you got to be happy with the run you put out here tonight. We've had an awesome crowd watching. All the fast guys are out there watching tonight. They've all been in YouTube. Facebook Live's been lit up. Twitch TV's been busy. If you got any friends, family, sponsors to thank out there, Mikey, the floor is all yours, bud, to do that right now.
I'd just like to thank all my buddies at Fast, especially the ones that worked with me in the end of the race there.
Well, they're pretty dang good teammates. I can know that. They're brothers of my own. So Mikey Marotta brings the 65 car in the runner-up spot. He will finish up second. So what we're going to do now, Todd, is we're going to see if we can't chase down, Cosman here in TeamSpeak, which not even sure he is still here. All right, so I'm scrolling TeamSpeak and I'm looking up and down through all the names, and I see a guy named Moth Like Lamp, and I think that would be Cosman. So I'm going to drag him up here into the conversation, move him around. So much moving on to do, and I believe this is Cosman on the microphone, Todd. So I'm going to throw this down to you in victory lane. You're going to have a very happy number 24 car. Cosman going to pick up the victory here tonight at FTF.
Hey guys. Wow, that was a wild race, wasn't it? I hope you guys had fun watching it. I sure had fun being in it. Oh man, I am exhausted. I'm been a little bit confused about the finish. I'm really relieved when they announced the winner. I just didn't know where else to go. I tried lifting the first time when he did that to me. Second time was for the win. I mean, I needed the space, right? Oh. It is a huge relief, especially since we haven't been really good at Kansas from the beginning. Kansas has always been a track that we've struggled at and had bad luck. So this is just we're gonna take a week off. We're taking the pressure off a week, and it's just gonna be a fun race next week. Also, just want to thank everyone at FTF for putting on a great show. You guys for broadcasting. I hope everyone watching had fun. I hope everyone in the race had fun. I hope you guys liked our matching paint schemes there. Was It's fun to do them, and it's really fun to work with my team. Kevin, Justin, and Ryan, they're really awesome. Ryan was the one that guided me through all that in the end. He was calling the lines for me, acting as a spotter. So I'm dedicating this one to him. And also the guys who work with me throughout the whole race, like the guys from Fast Racing League, Randall, Brandon Hawkin, Weaver, Joseph Weaver. They're awesome people.
Yeah, Cosmin, good win here tonight as you kind of stole my thunder getting ready to throw it to you, and you already knew what was going on. You must have watched some of these events here on Full Velocity TV. You knew you had to thank everybody.
Yes, sir. I watch it. I watch it every Monday when I can. I just put it on and I just listen to you guys and watch. Depends what else, whatever I'm doing when I'm eating my dinner or lunch.
Well, again, Cosmin, congratulations on picking up the victory here tonight at Talladega. Like you said, a little bit more pressure off your shoulders going into Kansas. Probably not. That was not one of my favorite tracks either. So getting the pressure off is probably the best thing for you.
Exactly. Thank you, man, and thanks for having us tonight.
Taking down the win, driver the number 24, Cosmin. And now he makes his ticket to the round of 8 there, Phil. A great race. Yes, it was attrition. Yes, it was war. And there was quite a few wrecks out there and bent up sheet metal. I know the scrapyard is going to be rather happy here at Talladega to pick up some of these cars that are not ever going to race again.
No, and I think they may want to send these down to the Splash and Go guys to maybe put these cars back together. Is great to see Cosmo in victory lane. This guy does some really terrific paints. He did a really nice looking full velocity TV paint job of the Cup car and the truck as well. So I got to thank the painter out there. Cosmo did a great job on that, and really cool to see him out there in victory lane tonight. It's definitely a win for one of the good guys who's given so much back to the community as far as the mod creation, the painting, the track designs, and whatnot. Cosmo, he's an enigma all to his own right, but really cool to see him in victory lane there, Todd. Is we got one more item of business here left to do. So I know we got Justin Malello down there feverishly working on a point update. He said to give him about 2 minutes. So I think I've expired about 90 seconds of it. So I'm going to bring him up to the booth now. I'm going to put him under the gun. If not, like his night had enough chaos and turmoil to it. Justin, I'm not sure how quick the math is down there, but give us a point update. What do you got there for us, bud?
Almost done. Just adding the last couple of points here. I got to add 2 more points to Brian for stage 2. And I got to add Jordan a point. And we are good. And let me go back and refresh my page, and I will have your points update. Wow. All right. So, we all know that we locked in just a little, from the admin
we're playing racing 2003 season. We're not too far away from changing the calendar over to 2019. You guys at FTF tonight packed the house and had a round of knockout qualifying that, backed up even getting on the air a couple of minutes. So, even with the racing aside, the wrecks, I mean, you guys filled the field and you guys really put one hell of a show on it. It had a whole lot of stuff to show, but it wasn't short on action. So you guys can really be proud of that.
I mean, I definitely am proud that we had a full field here tonight. I mean, so far into it and how many people have moved on and such, and we still get full fields. I mean, it was just it was a hell of an event for. I mean, I'm sure you guys thought it was a great show with all the drama and implications that was going on. As an administrator myself, I could have used maybe taken down a notch or two, but it is what it is. It's speedway racing, and I'm proud, yet I'm a little bit disappointed, but it is what it is.
All right, last question. Predictions for Kansas next week. It's the eliminator night to bring this field of 12 down to 8. The field is very jumbled up and close. Everybody's going to be on edge. You have the feelings of the race at Talladega tonight. What are we going to see next week at Kansas?
Well, I hope a much calmer show for the admin side of it. I hope it's a good show for you guys to put on. Honestly, we're probably going to see the big three, the FTF big three, up there doing their domination as they always do, Taylor, Kevin, and Brian. I'm sure one of those three will end up in victory lane, and I know Cosman's going to sleep easy tonight knowing that he's moving on. And for Corey, Brandon, Kyle, myself, Brian, Jordan, Tyler, Chris Wetz, and RNC, Ryan Araki, I mean, we're all going to be, sleepless the next 7 days. So we'll see how it turns out.
I love it. This atmosphere brings out the best in everybody, sometimes brings out the worst in everybody, and can give our buddy Justin a heart attack at times. So, bud, take it easy this week. Don't overstress. Let the little things fly. Come out here next Sunday night and give it hell. So, good job, my friend. I know you had an up-and-down night with that car, but, hey, you worked your way in. You're in that 8th coveted spot right now. Give it hell next week at Kansas, brother. Good chat as always.
Yeah, 4th place tonight, baby. I'll take it. Woo!
That is right. Justin Malello brings it home 4th tonight, gives us our points update at FTF Todd, and it just sets the stage for us next week at Kansas, the eliminator night where we bring the round of 12 down to the final 8. Are you ready? Because I know we get a whole lot of stuff coming on this week in Full Velocity TV land, but circle Sunday on your calendar. That is going to be intense next weekend.
Yeah, definitely going to be intense, and everything that's going on. Got some more cool things coming up here on Full Velocity TV. And this race here, though, FTF in Kansas coming up, it's going to be rather interesting. A lot of those guys, some of those guys in must-win situations. And Ryan Naraki is going to have to let it all hang out there in that 37 machine to try to make it work. Like you said, he's probably not the best guy at Kansas, but he's going to throw everything he has, including the kitchen sink at it, to try to win that one and try to get himself into the round of 8. So, Phil, I'm looking forward to it. This was a barn burner tonight, and this is what Talladega produces. It produces great racing, but it also produces carnage and wrecked cars and bent feelings. And there's going to be a lot of bent feelings after this one, but coming out on top tonight is Cosman in that number 24 machine.
And coming out on top tonight is all you guys out there that have made this night go around for Full Velocity TV, for guys on Facebook, Twitch TV, and the guys that have been going back and forth with on YouTube all night long. Thanks, you guys, for what has been an awesome night of Full Velocity TV. We have a full week in store and back into the iRacing world this coming week with Wednesday night street fights and Thursday night over to DirtSeries.com for the very first race of the season for the Pro vs. Super Series. That is going to be awesome. Dirt racing coming up here Wednesday and Thursday night. We know we got Hobo racing up again in the near future and back again next Sunday night with the guys over at FTF. It is going to be an awesome weekend, awesome week for us indeed. Get a hold of us, guys. Get your shows booked now. We got bookings going on to the first of the year, so get a hold of us. Full Velocity TV on Facebook or email fullvelocitytv@gmail.com. So on behalf of everybody here at FTF, all the great guys doing an awesome job here tonight with this race. For our graphics guy, Martin Karch, who celebrated a birthday yesterday. Thank you, Martin, for all you do. My partner, Todd Stanton, down in the booth. For all the guys who came in and had the conversations tonight. Thanks, you guys, all for tuning in to Full Velocity TV. We will see you back here a couple nights from now. We go back on the dirt in the iRacing scene. Until then, we will see you next time.